Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to check all of my stuff. Audio seems okay. If anyone is there, please just say that you can hear me. Don't mind. I'm going to post when I'm live. God, never, ever going to be organized for one of these ever. But it's okay because it's the fake start of the stream. All right. That's going live. That's being sent. Brilliant. Cool. Not going to post it in the other Discord today. Ash says, I can hear you okay. Thank you very much, Ash. Appreciate that. How is everyone doing? Everyone having a good day? I hope so. I will actually... Oh, there's a fly. No. I am going to post this in the CC, actually, but I'm not going to tag everyone. I'm going to put live critiquing copy in it. That'll do. God, I have zero showmanship for these live streams. I save it all for the recorded stuff, guys. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ash. Hello, Cecilia. Hello, G-Man. How is everyone doing? Coming back at you with another Whetstone Wednesday. I feel like it's the first one I've done in a little while because the last thing I did was a masterclass, which was on, what was that on? Client management, which I thought was brilliant. But we're back with a pure, clean, lovely copy review and critique stream. Not going to be anything too crazy today. I'm in a pretty relaxed mood. So we're just going to go through some copy. I'm going to give it some attention. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to get through. I will try and give them at least 5 minutes each. Hopefully a bit more. And yeah. So hope everyone's doing well. I'm just going to crack on with this. I'll also be answering questions as usual as we go. So if you've got any questions about copywriting, just throw them in chat. All right. So let's zoom in. And I'm going to remember that for every single thing today. I'm going to zoom into every piece of copy review so there's no confusion about what we're looking at. Just quickly, Pratham says, how do I send my copy? This copy has been submitted by members of the Copy That Patreon, which you can send in for the stream. We'll let everyone know in our Discord server. So you can only submit if you're a member of the Patreon, which, again, being the good master I am, I should probably hang on. There's a CTA. Go join the Patreon if you can afford it. Brilliant. All right. So let's get straight into this. No rambling today. So the first thing we have here is sales page by this. Context is a sales page for real estate coaching and only has the beginning. Okay, so this is a headline read of a sales page for real estate coaching. And a question, is repeating 40K a month too repetitive? I will let you know when I read this. Now, a little bit more context is nice, is preferred. So, for example, what I mean is, who is this being shown to? Like, is this going to what? Is this, what I mean by that is, are the people who are reading this used to seeing your brand already? Are they existing customer of yours who you before? Have they been through a lead magnet sequence? Or is this for cold traffic? Is it from people who've just seen you on a Facebook ad? It's useful for us to look at what's coming before this and who it's targeted at the very least. And maybe a bit more context around what it is. It's real estate coaching. I'm sure I'll pick up what it is in a moment. And Prim says, I didn't know about this. I'm joining right now. Thank you very much, dude. As I say, though, please only join if you can afford it. If you're a beginner, you do not need to join. Like, you can just get free stuff. You don't need to join anything or pay any money. Okay. So, attention. For all real estate agents who are 100% serious about scaling your business. Okay. This is what we call eyebrow copy, and it goes above the headline. Now, the reason I'm going to analyze this a little bit is because sometimes in these Whetstone Wednesdays, we just get straight into just analyzing the copy, and we forget sometimes that people who are watching this for the first time don't know what all the bits of copy are. So the intention of this is that it goes above the headline, and it's almost like a kind of sweetener to the headline. It's not the main thing, nor the first thing that people read usually. Usually people will read the biggest font first. This tends to be what you read next. Um, someone says, can you fix your mic? It's cutting sometimes. Oh, that's not good. Let me, is that happening to anyone else? If so, please let me know. I will have a quick look at my settings. Audio, microphone. Automatically adjust mic volume. I'm gonna take that off. Mic. Oh man, that's annoying. Right. I have one. I've unplugged and let's see if that works. Right. I'm going to keep going. If this still happens, please let me know, and I will just have to switch to a worse microphone. But I wonder if it's just unplugged from the back of my PC a little bit. Give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can tighten the fittings. Okay. Well, I've done all I can. Oh, don't you love how professional this channel is? Someone said it's great now. Okay, cool. Fingers crossed. If it happens again, let me know. What was I saying? Oh yeah, eyebrow copy. So eyebrow copy is what goes above the headline. Like I say, usually it's not the first thing that someone reads. Usually it's this gets read first, and this usually gets read second. But regardless in what order it's read, this is just meant to be a sweetener. So this is using it correctly. A very common way it's used is just to let people know they're in the right place. So it's often used as a call out. So instead of, this headline could be about a benefit that, is interesting to me. But this eyebrow copy, what this is doing here is it's just letting me know that I'm in the right place because I'm a real estate agent and I want to scale my business. So it's like, oh, brilliant. Like that's what I want. So that's typically what eyebrow copy is used for. But there are other uses as well. I think on our sales page, the one that I wrote, I just used it as a kind of a reinforcement of the fact that like this is the only course that we sell, that kind of thing. So you can just use it to sweeten whatever piece of the copy you really want to highlight, whatever part of your message you really want to highlight. Okay. Headline: unique brackets unique mechanism. I'm guessing that's like something that you haven't thought of yet. Unique mechanism system to reach consistent and passive $40,000 per month in 45 days, even if you've never closed a deal before. Button book a coaching call, button learn more. Okay, a few things I'm going to pick up here. Number one, as I said at the beginning, without context, it's very difficult to know, even to begin to judge this headline, because is this a brand new promise that you're showing to someone, or have they had any kind of inkling that you can deliver this before? Because, and I'll tell you why, if this is the first time that someone is like seeing your sales page, maybe they've just come from an ad or something. If this is the first thing I see, I'm going to tell you what it triggers in my head. That doesn't sound very realistic. But without me knowing who the audience is this an audience who's already doing $20,000 months? If so, then okay, maybe that seems more likely. If this is for someone who is at the very beginning of like their real estate agency career, that's probably going to be like, that doesn't sound very realistic. I need to have something a bit more before you introduce this idea to me. So that's the number one thing. Very hard to judge this when you don't know where it's coming from or who it's targeting. But let's just analyze the headline for what it is in itself. Unique mechanism to reach consistent and passive $40,000 per month in 45 days. Now, something I will say is that any kind of promise headline, any kind of headline that is stipulating that you will earn X within Y, they tend to do well for audiences who have never come across these kinds of offers before. right? Now that's because of something that we call market sophistication. And if you've been exposed to the same messaging over and over again, you're less likely to believe it when someone else comes along and says the same thing. It's like, yeah, I've seen this a million times before. It's always BS. However, if in the real estate agency market, no one has ever made this kind of claim before, then all of a sudden this becomes quite exciting. It's like, whoa, wow, I've never heard of this. Tell me more. But the bone I'm going to pick with this is that for real estate agents who have a lot of kind of courses set their way, anything around property or real estate, this is probably not enough to get past that. Oh, this seems like something new, because they'll have been promised big bucks before, and because this doesn't sound realistic, there's nothing there for me to grab onto. If instead, let's just think of changing the actual messaging here, like from scratch, instead of immediately coming out and saying you can get to passive 40 grand months in 45 days, instead, imagine if you picked me up on something that I already knew about in real estate. So I don't know anything about real estate, but let's just say like escrow commission. I don't know what that means. Let's say like how to break, for example, like how to break your earning records every single month with this weird escrow commissions hack, right? That intrigued me because it's latching onto something that I already am aware of, and that I'm like, oh, I know that thing. I want to know more about it. And you're not coming out of the box with some crazy promise that sounds like too good to be true. You're just saying how you can break your earning records each month. Now that seems like a more digestible headline and something that seems far more realistic and something that's going to give more weight to believability. So then I keep reading. But again, this is why it's so important to understand who this is actually for, what they've seen before, what list they've come from. And the reason I'm giving you guys this lesson particularly is because if we just came at this headline and we just looked at it with, say, the 4 U's, for example, so it was ultra specific, if it was unique, if it was useful, and whatever the hell the other one is, if we were just judging it by like those criteria, then urgent. If we were just judging it by those criteria, then let's see how many it ticks. Is it unique? Okay, well, we've got unique mechanism, which we assume would be that. So yeah, unique, great. Is it urgent? Well, it's certainly kind of telling me that I can have this within a time frame, which makes me feel like, oh god, like I can imagine myself having this quickly. So yeah, there's an element of urgency there. Is it ultra specific? Not so much really. You can argue that the eyebrow copy and the final copy of even if you've never closed a deal before make the call out quite specific, so I know it's for me, and I know it's like, well, even if I've never done this thing before, yeah, okay, that makes it a bit more specific. So yeah, you can maybe argue. Is it useful? There's nothing particularly useful in this headline for me. There's nothing that actually gets me any closer to my goal. You're just promising something. So you could say maybe it's got like 2.5 of the 4 U's there, right? But the problem with just analyzing this headline with the 4 U's is that it doesn't tell me anything about who this is for. And as I just explained, if this is for someone who has never done any of this before, which it kind of seems like it is, this claim is going to be pretty massive to me, considering I will have already seen other people claiming similar things, or people saying like beware of scams, or people saying, oh, get rich quick off of real estate or off of property, because it's a heavily saturated market in terms of get rich quick schemes. So because of those elements, even if and it's not a particularly fantastic headline anyway, as we just discussed with news, even if it was, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it ticks all the boxes in the world according to one way of judging copy. For the person it's aiming at, it just doesn't do the job. So that's the big thing that I would deduce from here is I would completely rip this up, go at it from scratch. Who's never closed a deal before, so I'm guessing that they've just qualified to be a real estate agent, I guess, but they've never done this before. What do they need to know? And if this is the case, if they're brand new to this, say for new real estate agents, right? Like this is the way to outpull 99% of your like fellow starters or whatever, your fellow graduates, whatever real estate agents call each other. It just seems like there's not actually much research that has gone into the audience here. It's just kind of generic copy template that could be said about anything. There's nothing here in this core bit of the headline that tells me it's about real estate. And that makes it slightly less viable when you're targeting someone who is going to want to see that you are an expert in this field. So hopefully that makes sense. I can see we've had a few messages, so I've had some questions. Also, feel free to ask any questions about what I've just said or about this copy. There's two other things. Let's say the two other things really quick. 2 CTAs and a VSL immediately. That's a lot of stuff you're asking me to do there. Like clicking the play button here, is this automatically playing? What does learn more do? Like, where does that send me? And why am I being shown the CTA like this early on if this is the first time I've seen this page? It's nothing here is telling me, like, is indicating that I need to have a coaching call. So a lot going on here, and there's not much consistency about where you want me to go, what you want me to do. Okay, let me read some questions and then I'll come back. Someone said, asking you again, what do you think about Tyson 40? I have not seen enough of Tyson 40's content to judge him in any way. So I'm afraid I can't pass it. Who's that sexy MF? I think that's Unique. And then other people have given their opinions on Tyson 40, which I will show. Okay, cool. Next piece of copy. So then you've got as featured in. So this would be like what we call, what I like, proof banner, where you have some people call it like strips and like testimonial strips and stuff like that. Whatever you want to call it. This would be like, oh, I was featured in. I'm assuming that's what it means. As featured on, and this would be like Fox, CNN, Yahoo Finance, whatever. But then it says feature 1, feature 2, feature 3. I'm assuming that's what it means. Testimonials. Did I read that correctly? I can get $40,000 a month, 45 days, even if I didn't close a single deal yet. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Now, here's something that I actually don't mind about this. And considering the relative ripping to shreds that I did of this bit, some people might be like, Alex, what do you mean? Like, there's something you like? There is something I like here, and it's because I feel like the person who's written this is trying to kind of get around an objection that someone's probably going to have. Is there anything inherently wrong with making a big, boisterous claim? No. You just need to be able to back it up. And a way you can do that quite quickly, almost to get over that objection, is literally say, I know that sounds crazy. Never underestimate the power of just saying to someone like, I know that sounds crazy. Because by saying that, you are effectively sympathizing with them, going, look, believe me, I think this is stupid too if I read this the first time. And you're buying more seconds for yourself. You're buying that bit of attention that's going to move them on to you then being able to justify it, right? It's even, in many cases, it's better to kind of say something like this first before even offering up proof. Because if you just offer up proof, sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, that's just been scraped together, or it's not too much. But if you show that, yeah, I agree, this sounds absolutely insane, you seem more like a human, and you seem more like the person on the other end of the screen. And then they're going to be more open to you showing them why this is real. Mike's going out again. God damn it. Okay. Sorry, everyone. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to my crap headphones, which I feel like the microphone is even worse. So the audio is not going to be great for this. Sorry. I'll try and fix my microphone. I have so many issues with this mic. Let me settings, audio, mic. Now, I know the audio quality is going to be way worse. Hopefully, okay. If this is just, listenable, then it happens, let me know. But I'm going to go forward with this. Is that okay with everyone? Please say yes if it's okay with you. And if not, I will just leave and go and cry for the rest of the evening. All right. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Is making consistent $40,000 months even possible for me? I'm making X dollars a month right now, and I'm already working 80+ hours a week. That can't be sustainable year after year, right? And so on. See, again, this is where, for this piece of copy, I don't really understand, like, who is this targeting? So it's for real estate agents, but it's for real estate agents who have never closed a deal before. I don't get that. Like, because then you're telling me I'm working 8 hours a week. So it's someone who's working 8 hours a week, but who has never closed a deal before. Like, I don't get it. And I think that's something that copy templates and anyone who is anyone who's kind of like peddling copywriting templates, or they're saying just use this and it's fine, or like here's a sales page template, just fill it in. This I kind of feel like is the copy that it comes out with, because it will just say make claim, eyebrow copy, disqualifying statement or qualifying statement. Then it's sympathize with what if I'm not doing X right now, or I'm not used to paying X price, or like I'm already doing so much work. This ticks a lot of boxes in terms of like, oh yeah, like you're talking about how, oh, they don't have this thing they want right now, and that they're working so hard and the world's against them right now. But ultimately, is that right for the person who's reading this, who's a new real estate agent? Like, no, it's not. It's not right. So just because you've seen other things in copy work doesn't mean they're going to work for your piece. You always need to come back to who is this for, and what is the core message I'm trying to get across. Because right now, this seems like it clashes with that core person it's aiming for. Customer service, Alex. Yeah, this is my call center. I'm actually not a copywriter. I don't earn 6 figures. I just work in a call center, and you guys consume my content, so I'm just going to keep making it. All of these might be valid objections that most agents might have, but it's not their fault for doubting the possibility. In fact, agents who make $40,000 a month come from various backgrounds, cities. Okay. I'm not going to read the rest of this, and I'm going to tell you why. The person who wrote this, I'm addressing you. I want you to tear this up, work out the exact context of what this is, of who you're aiming this at, where it comes in the funnel, what it's trying to get them to do. Write that down before you do any writing, and then plan the sales page. I want you to spit draft the sales page. I don't want you to like just start writing again. I don't want you to like take this and start editing it and deleting certain paragraphs. I want you to start again and actually plan the sales page out and say, okay, well, this is my core idea. Like, this is the thing that's going to connect with the audience. Here is what the lead is going to revolve around. I'm doing this, and then always justify your decisions. I'm doing this because this person will have seen X, Y, and Z before. Because right now it's just becoming something that's a bit cliche, and then it's waffling a bit. All of this, right? What is this doing as copy? And this is the last bit I'm going to analyze on this piece of copy. Let's just look at what this is like actually showing. All of these might be valid objections that most agents might have, but it's not their fault for doubting the possibility. In fact, agents who make $40,000 a month come from various backgrounds, cities, countries, age, social and economic status, or gender. Now, what this is basically saying is it doesn't matter where you are right now, you can make this reality. Or any agent can make this reality. I've just said what this is saying in like one sentence. And I think that's because you're just feeling the need to write stuff just to try and back up what you've said over here. But I think what you've said over here isn't actually down to you planning what the sales page should be and what that core message is. So you're basically just telling me I can make 40K. Yeah, you can make 40K. And I think you actually asked at the top, am I repeating 40K too much? I don't necessarily think that it's inherently repetitive. I just think that there's no substance to what the actual message is. You're simply saying, yeah, you can make 40K, you can make 40K, you can make 40K. How? And like, what opportunity even is there for that? I know you've mentioned the unique mechanism, but if you're starting with this kind of claim, you better know exactly where you're going to back that up. And Christian just said, I believe it was said not to critique copy after reading the first few lines, like it would make sense. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The problem is with a lot of copy we get, if we just didn't look at it after the first few lines, we probably wouldn't finish it, because the whole point is you guys are beginners, a lot of you, and we want to help you improve. So, this is not the cutthroat back rooms of Agora where I'm just going to like look at this, read one sentence and go, this is shit, take it away. I do want to help. So I'll still read through a lot of it, but if it's clear what the problem is and I can explain it without going through every single line, then I'll try and do that. So the person who submitted this, go away and plan this out and give more context to your page, not for me, but for yourself, and rewrite it. That's what I would suggest. Okay. Maybe it was Sean. Yeah, it was definitely Sean. Sean told me that like 4 years ago. So it definitely was. All right. Cool. Number 1, done. Facebook ad. Oh, that is a nasty creative. I'm sorry so much, whoever has made this, but I'm going to also be honest. God, and I'm not a designer, but that's all right. Now, I'm not going to be too mean. Number 1, it doesn't look great. Just generally design wise, like the green and the kind of background image, it's just a lot, and the kind of low contrast, it doesn't look very good. But more importantly, a creative is meant to be something that grabs attention, stops the scroll. Remember, this is a Facebook ad. I'm scrolling on Facebook. I need something to stop me and to show immediately kind of what that thing is. That either needs to hook me with something I'm already interested in, or needs to be so like crazy or bizarre or attention grabbing that I then look at it. This is neither of those things. This does not immediately get across what this is, nor does it like stand out. It just blends into the background and it's just a load of lines. If you have any ad where on the creative you're doing 5 lines of copy, I'm not saying that can never work, but if your 5 lines of copy, which is a lot to have on a creative, is just kind of generic bullets about the product, then why would I stop to look at this? It's very difficult for me to do that. There are a lot of different ways that you can improve this, but again, it's one of those things that you need to start from scratch. Like scrap it, come back. This is for a cream. Let's actually read the rest of the copy just so I can have an understanding of what it is. Headline: 100 times more powerful than vitamin E. Now, is that a bad headline? No, not a bad headline, because the assumption would be someone who's looking for a cream like this is probably interested in getting vitamin E. And something's 100 times more powerful. There's an element of me going like, 100 times? How is that possible? Perhaps we could frame that in a slightly different way. But is that a bad headline? No. I think it's relatively intriguing. And if I'm already interested in vitamin E, something I'm going to look at. Subhead: non-toxic skincare miracle suppressed by the FDA available again. Ooh. I wonder if that would get past Facebook's compliance. But maybe it would. Ready to feel confident in your own skin, reverse sun damage, smooth fine lines, help treat eczema as well as other skin afflictions, and nourish your skin to a healthy glow with Telingua Rain Salve. This topical wonder, tropical, I'm guessing that means tropical wonder, is formulated with 100% non-toxic, clinically proven natural ingredients, so you can feel as good as you look. Okay. Now, Evan, I think this is yours. I should probably like look at whose this is when I get them up. I'm a terrible designer, Laura asked me. That's fine, but something you have to remember: if you're submitting a Facebook ad for critique, I'm going to critique every inch of it. And the design is, again, I know as copywriters, we love to say copy is the most important bit, and it is, but in a creative of any kind, the design is damn important, because you need to make sure that people even look at it in the first place. So take it from me. I've sold a lot of products. I've sold creams. I've sold tablets. I've sold things to help with skin afflictions. The best e-com ads tend to be ones that have one main focus, one main angle. You can still mention other stuff, and it's extremely common within the body of a Facebook ad, especially, just to have a load of bullets, like loads of ticks, okay? But the main point of the creative and the headline of the ad and the kind of first line of the ad will all be about the same thing or supporting the same angle. What angle have you got here that I've identified immediately, which you've already written? 100 times more potent than vitamin E, or 100 times more powerful than vitamin E. Powerful is definitely a better word than potent, because I guarantee a lot of people will not know what potent means. That is one angle which you can target very specifically for people who have recently searched for vitamin E cream or vitamin E tablets or whatever. That's interesting. Okay. Will that work compared to other things? I don't know, maybe not. But that's why you run a hell of a lot of Facebook ads. So something that you need to bear in mind when you're creating Facebook ads, I always recommend creating a minimum of 3 that have very different angles. So you might do one about vitamin E and how much better this is than vitamin E. You might do one about how it reduces wrinkles like nobody's business, and it's crazy good at that. And another one about I don't know what else you got in here, like how it's the best at treating eczema. A ton of different audiences you can focus on and target. All of them are going to have different like desires and different things your product appeals to. That's the number one rule. Make sure you're actually trying to test things that are probably going to appeal to that audience. But if you're just throwing this out into the world and you don't know what's going to work, still focus on one angle before anything else. You can still in the body have bullets that say, hey, and plus it's this, and plus does this, and plus does this. I guarantee you, ad that focuses on one thing, on one angle, will always outpull the ad that focuses on, or your best performing ad. Let me put it a different way. Your best performing ad will always be one that focuses on one angle rather than one that says, oh, it does all of this great stuff. The only exception to that is if you are already a very, very well-known brand and you're selling on the brand name rather than what it does. So my advice to you, Evan, is rewrite this. Focus on one angle. You can still mention this other stuff if you want. Do it in bullet format, and go into Facebook ad library. Just set up an account for yourself, or I think there's simulators online as well, like Facebook Ads Simulator or whatever. And actually create it like a Facebook ad, so it mocks up for you what it would look like as a Facebook ad with the the line by line approach in the body, for example, any emojis you want to use, the actual headline being at the bottom. Actually get it up on a Facebook ad thing, because that will help you visualize what it will look like to someone who's scrolling. But yeah, so go away, create 3 Facebook ads for this cream, and show me what the angles of this cream are, and tell me who you're targeting, because you could be targeting anyone. It's the same thing. Like, I don't know who you're targeting with this. You could be targeting people who have bought this before, in which case, cool, it's probably going to do okay. Anyway, hopefully that's kind of giving you enough to think about there. You asked too spicy for Facebook. Facebook are very tetchy, shall we say, with any ads. Believe me, they're nearly as bad as Google. Facebook are worse than Google. And if you're kind of saying, oh, this thing was suppressed by the FDA or used to be banned, I imagine FDA is probably a term that their algorithm will pick up as something that maybe shouldn't be mentioned. I could be completely wrong, but I've seen stuff get struck for a lot worse, or for a lot, better. You know what I'm trying to say. Vitamin E angle, FDA ban ad, eczema ad, sun damage ad, etc. Yeah, exactly. Like that's exactly what I would suggest. But also, again, I don't know if this is a real product or not, but who's buying it already? Like believe me, someone selling e-commerce, the best place that you can look, or working with an e-commerce business, the best place you can look at is, okay, who's already bought this? What did they have in common? What did they buy from? You may find that, oh, your best sales came during the summer because you were talking about how it protects skin. Okay, great. Well, let's try run that angle all year round then. Let's have a go at talking about how this protects skin from harmful UV rays wherever you are. There we go. So that's what I suggest. All good? No questions? It's the last question. You want to close this ad now? Oh man, is that like impact font? I really don't like impact font. It's so hard to read. But don't worry, I'm not gonna judge you on that. Okay. What is this? Is this a sales page or an email? It's an email, I'm guessing. Product: 3-step lead magnet to get over a breakup. Currently preparing a full funnel leading to a breakup recovery course in order to get them onto a list. In order to get them onto an email list. Okay, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Target is women from 30 to 45 who have been through a difficult breakup. Okay, cool. Very useful. See, now I know who that's targeting. Headline was based on number of bullets from Sean's recent bullet video. Okay, cool. Now, what I'm confused about is this trying to download your free step guide today? Okay, here's a question. I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming this is an email because it's kind of written in email style, but this could be an ad or it could be a page. I'm not sure. The reason I asked that is because you said that this is for a lead magnet, but this must be an ad, right? Because you're saying to get them on an email list, but it looks like an email. And my point was going to be, if this is an email and you already have their email, why are you trying to push them to a lead magnet to get their email again? A little bit confusing. I just don't actually know what this is. Please, if I'm being blind and someone can see that this obviously says landing page or something, let me know. But I don't know if it says that. So I'm going to assume that this is some kind of squeeze, like a squeeze page. That's what I'm going to assume. 3 simple steps to leaving your ex in the rearview mirror forever. Decent headline. 3 simple steps. Cool. That's specific. Shows me there's probably going to be a plan for it. Leaving your ex, like, yep, that's like something I want to do. I want to forget about my ex. It's the pain that I have, so it's probably going to jump on me. In the rearview mirror forever. Yeah, sure. Like, it's, not cliche, but it's just kind of a little analogy. Is that an analogy? I always get confused about what an analogy or a simile or a metaphor is. It's one of those. So decent headline. When I say decent headline, is because it's basic and it hits right at the heart of the problem. I'm a 30-year-old woman who has just gone through a breakup and I want to get over my ex. 3 simple steps to leaving your ex in the rearview mirror forever. Great. Like, cool. I'm going to read it. Is that the best headline ever? No. Will it work? Yeah, probably. Great. Your ex has an inexplicable hold over you. Cool. Building that I know your pain. I know where you are. Nothing wrong with starting like that. You think about him when you go to sleep, then again when you wake up. You remember how he used to smell, the words he used to say. He consumes your thoughts. Let me assure you, it's not your fault. I was there once too. I used to think of my ex every hour upon the hour. Every hour upon the hour. Every evening, I'd sit on the couch, hoping he'd walk through the door and make me whole again. It was definitely a toxic pattern. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be this way? What if your thoughts could be free of him forever, and you could finally think about you again? In order to help you and other amazing women like you move on, I've created a free 3-step guide to leaving your ex in the rearview mirror forever. If the pain of your breakup is stopping you from becoming the amazing, beautiful woman you know you can be, download your free 3-step guide today. All right. 2 things on here. 2 main things. Number 1, that was fine. That was decent, just like the headline. I think the body copy actually mirrors the headline quite well. That was decent copy. It's not great, and I'll tell you why it's not great. But let's look at the things that it's doing well. Okay. 1, it's just like the headline is doing. It's immediately reinforcing the fact that you have this problem. I feel you. I want to help you. Okay. Just reinforcing that you understand. This is a very important thing to do when you've already captured someone with a pain point, right? A very common template that's used is PAS, problem, agitation, solution. And there's a reason that's a common template, is because highlighting a problem and then kind of picking away at it just to show it. I actually think agitate is a bad way of describing that, because the power doesn't actually come from agitation. Because guess what? If someone has a pain, they don't need reminding of how bad the pain is. There's a reason they're reading copy about the pain. But what that agitation shows, is that you understand the pain and you are sympathetic towards that. And you finally feel like someone gets you. And if someone gets you, you're more likely to listen to them. 1, because it feels nice to listen to them. And 2, because if they understand the problem, maybe they have a solution. It's all wired in there to listen to people who can sympathize with us. So this is following PAS, which is, you have a problem, I'm going to agitate your problem, and now I'm going to show you a solution. Okay? That's basically what this is doing. Not for the reason, you're not agitating for the sake of agitating, but you're showing sympathy. So I think this is fine. It's not your fault. Very, very common thing. Get on people's side, show them that it's something else that's happening. This comes to my first point, which is, This is a very common trope in copy to say, well, it's not your fault, it's not down to you, which is good and works, but it only really works, or it works very well, when you then introduce the thing that's fault it is. Okay, there's not really much good in just saying, oh, it's not your fault, you're not to blame. That's then a gateway into saying, like, it's this thing. This is the reason you haven't got over it. Okay, and I'm going to tell you how to get over it. So, I'm not saying that this is something you absolutely should do, but if you want to then say it's not your fault, I would then immediately introduce, like, it's because of this. Like, and I'm going to show you how to remove this from your life forever. Okay, that then opens a loop is to, okay, well, like, now I understand what this thing is, or I've been told that there's this thing. This person's now going to tell me how to get rid of it. Great. So I would either, if you're keeping this in here and this angle, I would play on it. All right. Or I would just cut, like, this bit out about it's. Let me show you it's not his fault, because that's not really aiding the copy in any way right now. It's not actually helping the copy to develop in any meaningful way. So that's my first point. This stuff here, I was there once too. Very, very powerful thing to do for a pain-based, like, piece of copy. To say, I understand you. Not only have I set up here that, like, I'm agitating, so I'm sympathetic, but I'm also now saying, look, I was there. I get it. It's a personal thing, and I understand. Nice thing to do. Works very, very well for copy where it's deeply personal problems. But again, and this is my second main point, you don't then use that to your advantage to talk about the solution. Like, all you do is you say, I've created a 3-step guide. So you haven't actually identified, well, okay, what is the thing that's keeping me there? Like, what is the problem? You've missed your chance to do that. And then you've said, I was once there too, but you've not elaborated on your story to say about, like, and I only got over it by doing this. Or, like, this was the thing I discovered. Like, let me, as someone who's been through this, let me tell you, it is possible to win, and I know to get over it, and I know how to do it. Instead, you just kind of use the device without then capitalizing on it. So that's twice you've done that. You've said, like, it's not your fault, which is a device in copy to gain sympathy and open a gateway into, like, well, this is the thing that it is, but you don't then capitalize on that. And you've said, I was there too, which is another device because it helps me show that you understand me and gives you that authority to talk about it and for someone to trust, well, you've been here and you've been through it, but you don't capitalize that. You talk about the pain. You say, oh, I used to do this and that, and it was toxic. But then you just say, but it doesn't have to be this way. Like, what if you could do this? Well, I've got something that's going to help you. You've not actually spoken about why you can help or the experience that you went through. Okay. So there you go. Like, is this a bad piece of copy? No, it's not a bad piece of copy. It's a decent piece of copy. Okay. It's just, I think that there's a couple of key points within it that you really don't capitalize on because I think maybe either you're not quite sure of where to take it and you're just kind of writing to kind of continue writing it. And I think if you actually lent into, like, hey, it's this thing, right, that I'm going to introduce you to, and the lead magnet space, around this, fantastic, or I've been through this, or I've been through this, so I know the process and I can show you the shortcuts. Like, this is the surefire way, and because I know how painful this is, I want to give it to you for free. Like, no BS, no messing. Like, just give me your email so I can send it to you. I want to give it to you for free. There you go. That's a pretty powerful angle to go on to. So yeah, that's what I would say. The other thing is, and like, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you don't talk about the lead magnet at all. That's why I kind of want to drum up this, like, okay, well, what is the fault of this thing? What is that kind of mechanism that's stopping you? And how did you find out how to get over it? Because you don't actually mention anything about the guide. And again, my assumption is that this is a squeeze page, I think. So you would ideally have like a mock-up of what the guide is and just some bullets around, okay, well, here's what's going to show you. Either it's a squeeze page and you should be doing that, or this is an email, in which case I'm very confused at why it's an email because you have their email already. Anyway, hopefully that's useful. I see we had a few messages. Hang on. Evan said, people who live in the Southwest buy it in person and use it for everything from eczema to bug stings to stinky feet and tourists to Big Bend too big. And tourists to Big Bend National Park buys too big. Oh, okay, right, cool. That was not about the the how to get over your ex lead magnet. That was about the cream. Awesome. Well, knowing that, by the way, Evan, that's something that then I would play on, because you clearly have so many angles for that. Or if it's such a well-known thing in the Southwest, talk about how it's the best thing of that thing. Let me let me clarify what I mean by that. That is the best product of that category, if you see what I mean. So like that is the best, I can't remember what it's called now, like the best X cream of any X cream available in the Southwest. And it's the best because of this reason. Because we make it, right here in, where is the Southwest? That is it like California and Arizona, I want to say. Because we make it like with these things or from these mines, or it's made, true blue American, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, definitely go with trying the different angles as well. Utakanu, sorry if I messed up, says, I usually avoid using purchase tools and headlines, especially for sensitive topics. Is it right? I assume you mean, is it right to avoid them? I think that unless there's a real reason to use a poetic tool or like a literary device or a cliche, you shouldn't. There's not really much need to. I actually thought when I read this was going to be some kind of double meaning into like cause or something, but it wasn't. Do I think this is a sin? I don't think it's a sin. I'm sure you get copywriters out there who go, "Oh, you should never ever use like metaphors for this or that." Like, it's fine. I knew what it meant. It was clear. It doesn't matter too much, right? I probably wouldn't use it just because I try to be as clear as possible, but this is clear enough, right? It didn't confuse the topic for me. Far says, how much practice do you recommend doing per day? I do just emails, open to do more if you say so. I like to think I should do progressive overload. I don't know if progressive overload is the right way to think about practicing copy. I think that, again, we all have different views. I'll tell you how I learned, and then you can take what you can from that. I learned by doing an hour and a half a day of just practicing copy. That was just writing. That's what I did. Now, some people do half an hour of like reading / writing, half an hour of analyzing, and then half an hour of practicing. I did an hour and a half of like just practicing when I was starting out, and I did everything. I didn't just do emails. I did bullets, emails, landing pages, leaflet copy. I tried my hand at like some leads for sales letters, loads of stuff. Okay, I was doing everything because I wanted to soak it all in, and I actually think that's probably better to go about it in that way. Just because even if you're not doing the best you possibly can at like, even if you're not mastering one thing, you don't need to master one thing. Like, as long as you're doing things and you're showing the energy and the passion to do in it, to keep up with it. If you're also reading copy every day and annotating and analyzing it, that's going to start to drip into what you're practicing. And I know it's annoying because at the beginning you want to have everything straight away, but I promise you, if you do that over the period of 6 months or a year, all of a sudden it starts to make way more sense. You're like, well, I've read, 20 sales pages now, or whatever in SaaS, or I've read like 100 emails, and I noticed that these are really common patterns. So this is what I've started developing into my emails. And especially if you're getting critiqued, that helps too, because people come back to you and say, this works for X reason, this doesn't for Y reason. So do I think you should just practice emails? I personally don't think so. I think you should practice whatever the hell you want to. I used to do loads of different stuff. I would often just pick at random. There is no perfect way to practice. The only thing that you can do wrong is to stop, or to go like, oh, I'm not sure what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. Like, for God's sake, like Sean said, just start writing some bullets. Go and watch his like bullet stream or his bullet writing video, and just start writing some bullets and practicing there. Do something that's fun. Hopefully that helps. Chris said, I asked already, but is using it's not your fault angle more effective for a female audience instead of a male audience? Nope. I don't. I've never noticed a discernible difference, nor have I ever tested for that. But no, we're all humans at the end of the day. So and we all want to be sympathized with. So I wouldn't say so. Nick says it's a painful pain. It is. You know me all too well. Let me actually move my camera. So I need to keep. There we go. Okay, so maybe use that it's not your fault angle in the last email instead of the first. You wouldn't say that in the beginning of a conversation if you just met the person. Well, no, it's not. There's nothing wrong with saying like it's not your fault. If there's a point to saying that, if you're then going to say, well, it's because it's this thing. It's a problem-aware client. Shouldn't the copy be more focused on making client aware of the solution and driving it to the one action? Is it really live? Okay, so is this a problem-aware client? Like, yes, for sure. But part of me regrets putting the 5-stage awareness in my video in the way that I did, because people get too caught up in it. Like, it's a really good way to like analyze what you should be doing in a piece of copy and where to start and how to analyze copy. Don't think like, oh god, I need to get this person solution aware before I show them the product or something. You don't need to take them to such like perfect points in that scope, right? If the problem lends itself quite easily to then going straight to like, oh well, here's the product, here's the lead magnet, then fine. You're basically getting the solution aware and the product aware all in one go. All right. The product is a solution in and of itself. And if you can explain that it's a solution while describing that it's a product, that's fine. So don't think in stages of awareness first, okay, when you're writing. Think instead in what is the natural place to go to? What is the next step for this person to take in order to get them close to my actual goal? I know I need them to download the lead magnet. I've started off by saying that, like I understand your pain or whatever. What do I need to then show to get them to download the lead magnet? And oftentimes that's just going to be, I've been through this. Let me show you exactly how I got over it. By the way, I've put these steps in a simple guide. Here it is. I hope that helps. Is it really live? Yes. Thanks. I use Purchase tools when they're super relatable. That's fine. Got stuck in the stage of awareness. Is that part of the ideal customer persona for deciding to write copy? Again, the stages of awareness are a tool to use, right? Do not let them stop you from starting to write. The stages of awareness are kind of, how do I say this? They are implicit in the copy that you are writing and the person that you are targeting. What I mean by that is when you look at a person that you're targeting and you have a piece of copy you need to write because you need to get them to do whatever action it is, you just need to know as much about that person as you can. Right? If that person has heard about your competitors before, great, they're solution aware. And knowing they're solution aware means that you shouldn't waste time teaching them about this method or whatever, from the ground up, or like the fact that, let's just take a real example. Let's take what I do for a job. Pharmacy websites, just as one example, one of the products we have. I want to sell websites to a pharmacy. The pharmacy I'm trying to sell to has heard of my competitors before. So they're already solution aware because they already know they need a website and they know the website providers exist. There's no point in me saying to them, have you ever considered getting a website? Because websites are really great for your business and they work by uploading it to da-da-da. It doesn't matter, does it? Because they already know all about that stuff. So because I know who I'm targeting and I know what they already know through research or through, the fact that I'm targeting that person because I want to, I already know what they know. And from there, I can work out the stage of awareness. And there I know, well, they're already solution aware. So there's no point in me trying to build up from all of this stuff beforehand. But I think with the stages of awareness, see it more as a negator rather than something that you should follow. So what I mean by that is if someone is in product aware, right, you don't need to explain from the get-go everything about the problem and the solution, all that kind of stuff. Don't see it as, I can't quite find their stage of awareness, therefore I can't write anything. Just use common sense with it, all right? If that person is in pain, all you need to show them is you understand their pain and that you have a solution for it, whether that's a product immediately, whether you need to explain the solution a little bit more so they understand that products even exist around this kind of thing. Doesn't matter. All you need to make sure is that, does that make sense for them to read in that way? That just comes from reading a lot of copy, digesting a lot of copy, getting it critiqued, and also being a person, taking a step back from your copywriter frame of mind for a second and just imagining you're reading this for the first time. Am I saying too much? Father says, thanks so much, Alex. I practiced 1 hour at least, and it makes so much. Fantastic. Okay, cool. I think we've critiqued this copy. Is this the same bit? Have I made an oopsie? Is this like one that has already been critiqued? I've made some amendments to this based on Rod's critique from the last Whetstone Wednesday. So did I just critique the one that Rod had already critiqued? I bet I did. Oh, well, let's quickly read this one. Leave your ex in the rearview mirror forever in just 3 simple steps. Cool. I mean, it's effectively just swap those bits around, starting with the leave your ex, I think. Fine. Hopefully that was still useful to hear me rant about that coffee, because, it's still, the critique still, I guess, makes sense. Wouldn't it be great to move on to a life of value and abundance that your girlfriends would be secretly envious of, that your ex would regret walking out of? This is a dream, right? You lie down in bed to go to sleep. He's not there, and that's okay. You don't talk to him about your future together anymore, and that's awesome. When my ex broke up with me, I used to find items of his clothes in the laundry, and I'd be reminded of smell. I'd sit in the lounge some evenings, hoping he'd walk back through the door. In my gut, I always knew that something was wrong. His words didn't match his actions, and he didn't love me the way he said he did. As a strong and empowered woman, I deserve more, and so do you, which is why, in order to help you and other amazing women like you move on, I've created a free 3-step guide to help you leave your ex in the rear view forever. So if you've always known deep down it was his loss, and you're ready to show that to the world, click here to double down. Okay, this definitely has more voice, and I think if this is like the revised version that you did after Rod critiqued it, I can absolutely see Rod's influence on this, because this is way more characteristic of like a brand, for example, and this seems more like there's a person talking to me who has a personality, which in and of itself has its own merits. Do I think this addresses the core problems of that first one? Not necessarily. I think that you've gone for a slightly different angle here, kind of taking a more positive spin on this, which positive versus negative, you can test both to see what works. But I still feel that it's missing that kind of key, okay, why and what is the problem, and why do you have a secret to get over it? I probably, again, as someone who's just broken up with like a boyfriend, theoretically, in this story, someone who's just broken up with my boyfriend, or whose boyfriend has just broken up with me, I've probably been on a load of support boards already telling me that, oh, I'm empowered and I'm awesome, and that like things will be great. So hearing that again is not a problem with that, but it just doesn't quite show me like what new thing I'm going to get out of this encounter. That, I think, is what this is lacking. Like, show me what is I still feel bad, even though I've been told that I should feel good and that it's better in the long run and all this kind of stuff. I still feel pain. Why do I feel that pain, and how do I get rid of it? That's what I want this to reveal to me a little bit more, is to actually eke out some of that, like, this solution works because of this. And here is proof of this working potentially, or this worked for me, and I had to go through pain to find this, but I don't want you to go through the same thing, so here it is for free. That's how I would rewrite this. Okay, cool. Hopefully that's useful. Outreach attempt, codename New Brew. Ooh, it's a video audit outreach. I like it. And we always say to people, like, send in your outreach to critique. Me especially, I love critiquing outreach. So for all you people in the chat who are here to learn how to get clients, because I know there's a few of you, at least, this is for you, because this is outreach that someone's written. And I'm not usually one to be a dick and to be like, hey, I'm pretty good at this, guys. But I'm pretty good at this, guys. I'm pretty good at getting clients. So I love critiquing these. All right, Loom Audit. Company name is New Brew, sells nootropic supplements. They have a meal donation program. One purchase equals feeding for a child for a year. Cool. I couldn't find an attention grab for Cat, who I'm guessing is one of the decision makers. Let's have a look at New Brew first of all. New Brew. New Roblox. New Brew. Birmingham. What if every day could be at your best? Sharp fan. Interesting. That could be way better. Come on. If you're gonna do a scroll pop up, like, that's fine. Nothing against that. Like, it works for some stores, but come on, guys, give me a more than just a 15% just off my first order. Give me a recommendation alongside that. Okay, I'm not going to turn this into an e-commerce video. even though. Okay, interesting. So it's a multinational store. Okay, I'm not gonna get. Okay, I'm not. Yeah, this is gonna just turn into you guys watching me look at a page. So I'm not gonna do that. Let's get back to the critiquing. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something. I don't know. Anyway, so they have a meal donation program. One purchase equals, which I'm assuming is probably the thing that you're gonna highlight. Decision maker one, subject line. So for anyone watching who doesn't understand what this means, a Loom audit. I don't know if you've got the script in here. Yeah, cool. A Loom audit. Loom is a software, video software that records you, record the screen, and it's something that I recommend that you do to reach out to clients. I did a whole masterclass on it in the CCC, which is all about how I used to create Loom audits or video audits for potential clients. And what that means is you record a video showing them how you would improve their copywriting or their marketing or whatever. And then you send it to them via a link through the software called Loom, and you send it to them via an email or via a message. So, long story short, it's you create a little script for yourself or some kind of like what I call beats, like saying I'm going to say this thing, then this thing, then this thing, and I'm going to share these pages, and I'm going to show them what I do differently. Write a script for yourself, and then you write a message which links to your Loom video, and then you send it to the attention to the decision makers. Okay. So, subject line. A few ways to fortify 1 billion meals more quickly. I saw you used to live in Nigeria. I truly believe your mission to fortify 1 billion meals can help the hunger crisis there and across the world. Now, is this fortify 1 billion meals? I'm assuming that that's something that they say on their website somewhere. So I'm going to assume. Going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that that's what they say somewhere. I think that's absolutely a fine attention-grabbing subject line to use because it shows most likely that you're not a bot, because a bot probably isn't going to scrape and find like their specific slogan or one of their promises and then show that as subject line. So again, I think that's good. I think that the subject line structure itself could do more and could be a bit better, but let's go on and read what you've put first of all and the script before I go back to subject lines. I recently came across Newbrew and saw that you guys have already fortified 200 million meals. What you guys are doing is very admirable, and I'd love to offer you guys my help. I'm actually a copywriter, and I have a few ideas that will increase your sales and in turn increase the amount of meals you can. I put the ideas together into a short video for you and Kat. If you have a couple of minutes, I'd really appreciate you giving a watch. Okay, decent message, right? Nothing wrong with that. And again, most importantly, better than 99% of the outreach that anyone receives. Okay, so well done on that front. Purely because you have said, you've mentioned by name, you've included two people in it, say, I've made this for you guys. You've showed you're not a bot by saying, like, here's the stuff that that I noticed, and I think you guys doing this is awesome. I'll probably give this a little watch. Now, could this be better? Yes, it could be better. I usually like to reference something that I'm going to talk about in the video just to get them to watch it. So, for example, just saying like, "Oh, especially love what you guys do on your welcome sequence," but I noticed something that, but I noticed one thing you might want to change. That then makes me go like, well, now I need to see the thing that they want to change in my welcome sequence because maybe it's something I've missed. All right, that's one thing I would say. And two, I feel like there's probably a slightly better structure around the subject line, just to really, really show that this is completely personalized email. I think a few ways to fortify 1 billion meals. A few ways is a little bit weak. Fortify 1 billion meals, again, if that's something they're saying, I think is great. And even just starting with, can I help you fortify 1 billion meals? That I think is even a bit better than that. It's a bit more personal, saying, can I help with this? Seems like it's more like they're open to an offer. But again, decent, nice, better than most outreach. Does it make you? Kat, fortifying those 1 billion meals just got easier. Now, I think that, again, ideally, if you have identified the decision makers, you want, and this is kind of what I mentioned earlier, you want to make the subject line or that first kind of attention grabber more personal to them specifically rather than just the company. Because you can't do that, or you haven't found anything to do that in these ways, I would argue, like, I think you could probably get more research on the people. Now, maybe it really is impossible to find anything on these guys, but potentially you can do a little bit more on the people. But again, nothing bad. I recently came across Newbrew when looking for nootropics, and the fact that you've already fortified 200 million already, it made me want to do as much as I can to help you reach that goal. I have a few ideas that will help increase your sales, the amount of meals you donate, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically the same. Nothing wrong with that. I think, it could be a little bit stronger, especially just by opening the loop on things you talk about within the video, and trying to be a bit more specific to the decision maker. But you mentioned that you couldn't really find anything specific about them. Now, quick break. Ali says, is it better to do a lift or graphical sales letter in email marketing for e-commerce? Is it best to do a lift or graphical sales letter in email marketing? I don't quite know what you mean by graphical sales letter in email marketing, because a sales letter and emails are very different things. So I'm not quite sure what you mean. In terms of, you need to, like, better is a word that you shouldn't keep using, because there is no better, because it completely depends on the list, the product, when you're sending it, what the offer is, all that kind of stuff. So there's no definitive answer for you there, I'm afraid. Faz says, critique the website too. You explain stuff so clearly, man. It's interesting if you do this for things that you target to. It'd be fun. Faz, I appreciate you saying that. Really do. I'm not going to do that today, just because. Well, maybe I will at the end. Who knows? I do actually have another YouTube channel where I do this kind of stuff, which is just called Alex Myatt, which I haven't posted on a couple of weeks because I've been super busy. But I just talk about e-commerce stuff there. So go and subscribe to that if you want to. Graphical equals sales letter with image and visuals. Yeah, it's not that bit. I just mean, like, because I don't understand if Ali's asking for. It's better to do a lift or graphical sales letter in email marketing for e-commerce. So I don't get, like, if that's referring to the emails or the sales letter. Anyway, here's the script. Hey, Victorian Cat, it's nice to meet you. I'm Brandon, and I'm a sales copywriter. And I'll get straight to the point. I'd love to help you grow. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being direct and immediate. Like I say in the masterclass, these people are busy. They don't want to spend loads of minutes watching your video. So get straight to the point. If they really can't hire you, they'll say. But best to follow this up with, like, a quick personalized, this is what you guys are awesome, and then here's how I can help. See if you do that. I came across you guys when I was looking for a shop supplement, and I love what you're doing. Your mission to help malnourished children is extremely admirable. I actually have a few ideas that would help you increase your sales and achieve your goal of building us faster. If you have a few minutes, I'd love to go through them with you. So to start, I've been on your email list for about a week, and at first I thought I wasn't getting any emails, but I realized they were actually my promotions tab. And again, they'll be sharing the screen while they're doing it. So I definitely recommend, like, showing the promotions tab, showing them in there. Since most people don't open their promotions, this could be lowering your open rate and, in turn, losing your sales. There are a few common reasons this happens. The most common problem is that there are too many inactive people on your email list. When there are people on your list who don't open your emails and haven't for months, email services start to label your emails as spam. The way to fix this is to kick inactive people off your email list, but there's a way you can scoop up extra ones first, send a engagement sequence. Okay, going to stop here just for a second. This is becoming a little bit too scripted. I know it sounds stupid because it is a script, but you're kind of, like, taking through a lot of steps here, like step by step. Remember, this is an audit, and although you can give them the solution, you can kind of tell them what the solution is. You don't need to take them through it step by step, right? You can simply say, now, I think this bit's great. I think saying, like, most people don't open their promotions, just say to them, like, do you? A lot of people don't know it exists. It's probably happening because you have too many inactive people on your email list. It's a really common problem. I can help with that in X ways. So I can say, we can run a campaign to get only engaged people on your email list and to scoop up some extra sales first, right? That's what you need to say. That's all you need to say. If you're going through and explaining every single thing step by step, it can become, is it valuable? Yeah. Do I think it's going to lose them? Perhaps not. I think it's still, if you're delivering value, that's fine, but you don't need to like write every single thing what you're going to do. You can just say, here's the problem, I know how to fix it. Here's a very brief explanation of how I fix it. Brilliant. Um, to be fair, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh here because you do say there's a little more to it, but that's the gist of it. So I maybe just cut this down a little bit, but honestly, I'm being a bit pedantic. I think this is fine. Next, I was looking at your welcome email. I had an idea that would help you build your relationship with customers and get them excited to open your emails. One thing a lot of successful companies do is tell customers the company story in their welcome email. With your story especially, it shows the amount of work put into products. When they see your story and maybe relate to it, it will make them trust you that much more. I'd love to write this out for you and even punch up the writing in your other emails too. Again, this stuff is great. The only thing this is missing so far is just reference to, you might not have this, which again is fine. You don't need to, but if you do have it, just referring to other times you've done this or other times you've done this successfully. Even if it's a spec piece, you can say, like, I've written a bunch of welcome emails before, and from what me and others in the industry have found, like doing this thing always brings more results, or usually brings better results. The last thing is that I saw a few ways we can optimize your landing page and increase your conversion rates. I do have to say though, as a copywriter, I've seen a lot of product pages, and you guys are already doing a lot right. I like that you have your reviews at the forefront, especially because they're so good. If you add the numbers of reviews too, it will really make you more trustworthy, because having 2,000 reviews with a high rating as yours is very credible. Also, bring up one of your best reviews next to those ratings will build your credibility that much more. All this right at the top will make it feel so much easier for customers to trust you and in turn buy from you. I feel there is too, but I don't want this video to get too long, so I'd love to discuss all this with you in more detail. If you already have any ideas in mind, I'd love to help out those too. If you're open to implementing any of this, I'd be happy to set it up for you. We can just do a trial of some of this. Then, if you like it, we can do the rest. If you're interested, please send a quick message. We can set up a call. I'm free the rest of the week through the weekend. Mornings and afternoons are usually good for me, so let's just say Thursday afternoon. But if another time is better, send me a quick message with what works for you. Then we can arrange that call. Thank you. Bye. Right. What I'm going to say here is this is 90% there. Like, seriously, if I'm being honest, I would say don't tweak anything. But just because I don't want you to get stuck and going, oh, this has to be perfect, this has to be perfect. So much of this is already really good, and it's nice. You come across well. You're talking about good ideas. Yeah, you can reference a few more bits of proof. Yeah, you could perhaps be a bit more specific in like, not specific, a bit more broad in mentioning like how X thing is going to help your conversion rates outside of just reviews, for example. But I don't want you to change too much, because I think this is all basically there. I want you to film this and send it, because this is good. This is really, really good. I think you followed what I've said almost to a T, and I think you've got a lot of really great stuff in here. So well done. I would get on this and make it and send it. Sorry, Ali has just replied saying, yes, I mean, emails, see a lot of e-commerce sending graphical with images, emails, not persuasive words. Yeah. So with e-commerce, this is actually what one of my videos on my channel is about. It's a lot easier to sell an e-commerce product than an info product or a SaaS in most cases, because all you need to do is show an image of what the product is, or show a demonstration of it doing that, and then basically you give me all the proof I need to show, yep, that's going to do what I need to do, which is why e-commerce emails tend to be far more graphical, because a picture really does say 1,000 words, and a demonstration 1,000,000. So if I have that in an email and I can see that it works, great. That's why a lot of e-commerce tends to be graphical. However, that's become like the mainstream in e-commerce. So now what you'll find is when lists who are used to just getting boring graphic after boring graphic, or newsletter after newsletter of those images, get a text-only one, which seems like it's come from more of an official account, just saying, hey, you've been like, you're one of 3,000 customers who have bought the most frequently. Because of that, we're giving you a chance to like get rid of like buy up this kind of clearance stock. We want to give you the chance before it like gets thrown away. Do you want any of it? And it's just in like text, like a simple, like, wow, that gets a lot more attention. It's like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll have a look at that. So basically, yes, like there's a reason graphical emails get used a lot more in e-commerce. Is it always the best? Like, not necessarily. Depends on the campaign. Depends what you're trying to achieve. Chris says, for people not wanting to go by the script, make reference from a trillion video to touch up on social, so it can feel natural. That's exactly what I do. And in my raw recordings on the CCC, you'll see me do that as well. I think I only script one of the 3 videos that I do. It's easy to tell for e-commerce rather than just SaaS by using graphics. Yeah, like with an info product, what image can you really use to show me that like this is going to change my life outside of general stock images of someone being happy, right? Or a mock-up of like the thumbnails within the Kajabi course. But with an e-commerce product, like, hey, I don't know, what am I like? I need a little bin for my desk. That's a little bin. It's got a thingy lid. Brilliant. Yep, that'll do me. Just give me the measurements, and I'm sold. I need to speed up with these, man. Okay, hopefully that was useful. Hey, look, a product page. A copy of that product page. Let me just read Thomas's comment first. Is it a good outreach method if I write free value copy, sales page, and send it to them? If they like it and want more, I can upsell them. Yeah. If you have the time to do that, then go for it. I've done that before. I've done that successfully before, and I've done it unsuccessfully before. Nothing wrong with it. Some people will say no, never work for free, and some people will say, oh, always work for free. You do you. Try, see if it works. If it's good and it's useful and they like it, then it's a great way to get attention. Say, hey, I've done some free work for you. If you like the look of it, because I like your company, might be interested in working together. So, nothing wrong with that. Okay. Let me explain what this is, because I feel like it's been a while since any of these came up. Right. Hey guys, this is our website. On it, we sell things. One of the things that we sell are digital products in the form of masterclasses. And the one that this copy has been written for is this one, which was, I think, like my first masterclass on pitching, on how to pitch and how to do cold outreach. So we have an offer on, which is if you're a patron or if you've bought one of these courses, one of these masterclasses, you can you can rewrite the copy on this page. And if we like it, we'll pay you $150 for it, and we'll use it on our page. So you can get paid a bit of money, and you can tell people that you're a published copywriter because your copy is being used to sell a product. Awesome. So that's what this is. So this is the product it's selling. This is the copy currently on the page. Like much. Yeah. This is also the complete wrong description for it. I've just realized. How do most successful copywriters find new gigs? They don't. This is literally about how to find new gigs. This is the description for the networking masterclass today. See, we are not the most astute of digital course sellers. Let's just read this. So this is about this is a masterclass for how to cold pitch, basically. That's what this is. The ability to craft persuasive copy is only one piece of the puzzle for securing a lucrative income through copywriting. Finding and effectively pitching to high-paying clients are the essential components that copy gurus fail to mention or don't know how to teach effectively. Now, I would take issue with that because this was my experience 6 years ago when I first started searching about copywriting. I'm sure for you guys watching, it's probably your experience. I would say most copywriting gurus probably talk about outreach more than any other subject. Like, I can think of at least a few copywriting YouTubers that I've seen whose every video is about how to earn 10K a month. So, like, that me reading this, put myself in the mind of a newbie, this kind of makes me think like, well, no, gurus definitely don't fail to mention this. So I don't think that quite works. Don't know how to teach it effectively is maybe an angle you could play on to say like, oh, all those other ones have no idea what they're talking about, but Alex does. You can certainly say that. I mean, I'm biased and say obviously, but like that works more as an angle than just saying, oh, other gurus don't teach it at all, or fail to mention it. In this masterclass, Alex teaches a step-by-step process developed over years of trial and error for finding and landing clients with an incredibly high success rate. For the same price as a large Domino's pizza, that's dimensionalization because it's $20, you can have an easy-to-implement step-by-step approach for attracting clients and developing networks that will continue to serve you throughout your copywriting career. Unlock an endless stream of high-paying copywriting opportunities. Click on the orange button below to get started. Okay. This is okay, but it's not groundbreaking copy, and it's not particularly new. There's nothing in here that shows me that this is unique in any way or it's something I've never heard before. If I'm on this page, the likelihood is I am already into copywriting and I've already watched videos about how to get clients. for me to pay money for a masterclass about how to get clients, I'm going to need to be shown that it's damn good. I need to be shown why this is different. I need to be shown those things, basically, the keystones of persuasion. How is this different to the other stuff? You mentioned that there are other gurus out there. How is this different to them? Prove that to me. Show that to me that it is different. Is it because of Alex's experience? Is it because he's the only person who can do it in this way? Is it because he's never shared this before anywhere else? I don't know. So is this copy okay? It's okay, yeah, but it's what I would call gray copy. It's not offensive in any way. It's not really polarizing. It's not like shoving one unique new thing down my throat saying, yeah, this is why you need this now. It's not really doing that for me. It's kind of just saying, hey, this is good to learn how to get clients. Yeah, it's got a high success rate according to me, and you can buy it pretty cheap. So there's not really a key idea here for me to hold on to and be like, oh god, I need to find out what this is right now. Even highly skilled copywriters will struggle to earn consistent income if they don't master these two skills. Okay, which is actually something you started by saying up here. Like you started by saying that there's only, you can't just know how to write, you need to know how to land clients, which is okay to say that. Like it's fine. I think it's already a belief that they'll have and they'll know. But you then really need to follow out, like I mentioned, with this is why this is the best way to find clients. You need to show me that this is the best way. Would I then double down on like the fact, like trying to convince them that they need to know how to get clients? Probably not, because honestly, I don't know a single freelance copywriter alive who is not worried about how to get clients. They all are worried about how to get clients. Like that's the number one thing they worry about. It's not even how to write the copy. It's how do I get clients. So I don't actually think this is the strongest angle anyway for this piece. So I probably wouldn't double down on it. Like it's okay saying this up here. It's kind of inoffensive, but again, it being inoffensive and like not really having any power to it means I would just cut it and I wouldn't even start there. So I definitely wouldn't double down on it. Perfecting the skills of finding clients and effectively pitch them are the missing pieces to a thriving copywriting career revealed in this masterclass. And by mastering these skills, both experienced and newbie copywriters alike will never suffer from high-paying work again. In this masterclass, you will learn how to effectively tailor your pitch to bigger brands and single person or local businesses and still easily outshine the competition. 2 simple tools to effortlessly find clients. 1 tool is given to you with this masterclass, and the other you already use every day. How Alex landed a job within 3 days of applying using a CV that was different. CEO hired Alex, so your CV was so good I couldn't not call you for an interview. How to make your pitch impossible to ignore by being relevant. 90% of copywriters mess this up. Exactly where to start if you don't know how to begin prospecting for work. How to identify the type of, again, these bullets have the same problem as the body copy. Is like they're just a little bit nothingy. Like they're fine, but they're not great bullets. They're not really good bullets. They're just kind of bullets. There's nothing in here that, again, there's parts of it. So for example, like how do I easily outshine the competition? Again, you're starting to draw in that this is new and different to what everyone else is using. So I play on that angle. But instead, you're trying to merge these two together. You're trying to say, oh, well, like you can pitch to anyone and you can outshine the competition. Those are 2 different points. So either highlight, like this is going to teach, it doesn't matter who you come up against or what position you find yourself in, you can pitch. Like there's a way to pitch. Doesn't matter if it's big, small, you don't know them, you do know them, you're best friends, whatever, you can pitch. Answer in this masterclass. That is one thing. Another point is that you can easily outshine competition. You kind of merge them together into one, which I think just dilutes the message of both of them. Then, you've got like bullets here, like how Alex landed a job within 3 days of applying using a CV that was different. Like, okay, cool. The CEO hiring Alex told me a CV was so good we couldn't call you for an interview. I would then actually add this bit. I'd make this a really long bullet and say, P.S. that exact CV is shared with you in this masterclass. Like that's fine. Like there's the makings of a good bullet there because you're using stuff that's in the article that certainly does feel new to me, and there's something that and you're making it feel very easy because you're showing as a blueprint. But the rest of it is just kind of, how to make your pitch possible to ignore by being relevant. 90% of copywriters mess up. Like, yeah, like there are parts here of kind of good bullets, but it's not quite enough. It's not punchy. I would recommend that you go and watch Sean's free masterclass on how to write bullets to really rework these, because he will absolutely be able to show you how you can make bullets get punched up. This is what some of the masterclass people are saying. Amazing masterclass. This is the reason right here I signed up for Patreon. This is an amazing masterclass. Cool. Here's a peek inside the value pack 90-minute masterclass. The first barrier you will face when approaching clients, how to easily overcome it. How to write extremely relevant email subject lines are impossible to ignore. A simple email hack that can increase open rates, combine being different and relevant, supercharge your pitch. Again, like these are all quite simple bullets. Nothing wrong with a few simple bullets here and there, but they all kind of blend into one when they don't feel that powerful to me. Hey, Nibbles Source, the image of it is a perfect example of a business in the sweet spot. Alex helped them 10x their sales. It's true. See, I like that. That's interesting. Like, because you're actually almost being useful within the product description itself. You're saying, like, you know, find good businesses to pitch like this one. By the way, no one go and pitch Nibblers because they won't hire you. Because I obviously know the business. Oh man, this thing back. So much money. Made so much money with that. Anyway, who would have thought it? Hey, snacks. I like that though. I think that's a good idea. Why cyber stalking will land you a job and how to do it without being creepy. Nobody's using this method. Yep, good bullet. Like that. A mini masterclass from writing perfect CV. Alex has a 70 days to reply bait with an invite for an interview using his blueprint. Cool. So yeah, again, like there are bits of this that are decent, but again, there's nothing in here that is particularly powerful. I think is my main take of it. I had to boil it down to one point. Yeah, I think that the main thing that you need to go away and work on is just what is the key message to the person that you're targeting here? Because actually, they need to be shown that this is the best or the most unique or the most reliable method. You know, something that they're not going to find anywhere else. Why are they not going to find it anywhere else? Let them find that. You know, let them discover that. I actually think that is quite a good way to show that, because you're almost giving, like, putting your money where your mouth is almost within the description itself, saying, like, here's an example of one of the stores that Alex found by using his sweet spot method, and he'll show you how to find like hundreds like it with at this point in the video, because that in itself is quite a unique thing. It's very different to what other copywriting gurus are saying. Like Alex is actually giving you an example of a store and telling you exactly the kind of stores you could be going to look at, not just kind of fluffy, yeah, go and pitch someone. You know, tells you what kind of people you should look for. All right, cool. Okay, can I use text email type along with graphical emails to bring more prospects to business? Dude, you can use anything you want, anything and everything you want to bring more prospects to the business. Okie doke. I need to have a break for a sec, drink a bit of water, get some fluid, and then we will continue with these. Any questions from anyone in the chat? I appreciate this has been well, I mean, it's been good, I suppose. This is basically just a core Whetstone Wednesday session. I'm not really going on too many tangents, I think. And sorry if you can hear me swallow, because I forget the microphone is right there now. But, you know, ASMR, copy that, coming soon. Oh, all right. My draft CTA and UVP. What's a UVP? Unique value proposition? Guessing it's that. I'm guessing that's basically a USP, but a slightly modern saying for it. I'm working on a good call to action for LinkedIn articles. I'm working on my, oh yeah, you even say it. I'm working on my UVP. For the audience, there's a marketing director, business owner, and a financial publisher. Marketing director, business owner, and a financial publisher. These are their commonalities. Alex, please let me know if you think there is a better desired pain point to use that I've listed. So is this, I'm guessing this is for pitching your own copywriting services. That's what I'm gathering. Grace Sire. Growth. They desire to expand their business, increase their revenue, and reach new markets. A marketing director may not marketing director may just want to get home at 5 p.m. A lot of the marketing directors I know do. Um, these are very different. That is an extremely broad term, business owner. Financial publisher, what do you mean? Within the financial publisher? Who within the financial publisher? The marketing director within the financial publisher? The hiring manager? The guru? I don't know. Greatest pain points, time constraints. They often feel the pressure of managing multiple tasks simultaneously and meeting deadlines. Emotionally feeling excitement. They may feel excited about new opportunities, product launches, or marketing campaigns. Belief in the importance of marketing and the sensitivity of effective marketing in driving business success. Fears economic downturns. They fear the impacts of economic recessions. Okay, here's the problem. This is way, way too broad. Way too broad. If you are focusing on one specific kind of person, you need to cut this down to one at the very least. But even then, make it specific. Who are you focusing on? Is it startup owners? Is it CEOs of small startups? Is it marketing directors in businesses who they have like a team of at least 2 people underneath them? Is it the financial publisher? Like what is it? Is it the head of copywriting in a business? That needs to be clarified for sure. Great site, great. Everyone wants to grow their business, basically. So that doesn't really help me very much. Everyone feels like they don't have enough time. So again, that's not really narrowing it down. Everyone feels excited about new opportunities. Not everyone believes in the importance of marketing. So okay, you can as this person doesn't need to be convinced that marketing is good, which helps because it means you haven't got to start by, again, go back to stage of awareness. This person is already solution aware, as we call it. They understand that the solution is marketing. You don't need to take them in to convince them that marketing is a solution. They already know that. So yeah, that can be useful depending on who you're targeting. And they fear economic downturns. They fear the impact of economic pressures or downturns of the business. Okay, everyone fears that. But again, this now is kind of directed at business owner rather than marketing director. They're just very, very broad. Before I move on, one more. Sally, Wes. Sorry, you even said that. You even said that in your name. You said, "Call me Wes," and I didn't. Wes, thank you very much. I'm glad that helped. What's the best payment platform in your opinion? I mean, I've mainly used Stripe if we're talking about gateways. If we're talking about processes and things to kind of ways people can pay money. Honestly, I have seen conflicting data on whether just having credit card, debit card, and PayPal is better, or if having loads of options are better. I have seen conflicting data from within my own projects and from other people I've spoken to. So I don't know. I think just basically make sure you have at least credit, debit, and PayPal, and Apple Pay as well is very popular. In terms of Google Pay and other stuff, there's other kind of Klarna and whatever. You can have those. I have never seen having more options completely destroy checkouts as such, because people already know kind of how they want to pay and they'll just do that. So usually more choice is better when it comes to payments. But I've seen conflicting data. But that might not have even been your question. Please let me know if I didn't hit the nail on the head with that. I got ripped off by Todd Brown. I ordered one of his books only for them to take another $20 out of my account for 3 days. Their customer service don't know me. I'm sorry, GJ Thomas. I can't help with that. I am not affiliated with Todd Brown, but I wish you luck in resolving it. Why is your stream blurry? It's not clear. Can anyone else tell me if my stream is blurry or is that just GJ? Please let me know. Okay, anyway. Draft UVB, unique value proposition. Copywriter and marketer that is a growth hacker, headache reliever, revenue increaser, time saver, problem solver, and goal achiever. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not like it when people have this kind of shit in their LinkedIn profiles and stuff. It annoys me a little bit because I hate the term growth hacker. That's just a me thing. Headache reliever, time save. You're basically just telling me you're Jesus and you do all the things that are all good, and that's hard to believe. Also, this isn't really telling me anything. Time saver, problem solver. This could apply, just like these could apply to basically anything in the world. An accountant is a time saver and a problem solver. Okay, a firefighter is a time saver and a problem solver. So if I'm looking for a copywriter and I just see time saver problem solver, that's not as useful as someone saying to me like VSL expert. I'm like, oh well, I need a VSL. Brilliant. I'm gonna hire someone who has VSL expert in their bio quicker than I'm gonna hire someone who has time saver in their bio, because that doesn't actually mean shit to me. The copywriter that writes emails, landing pages, sales letters, and video scripts driving more revenue, that's better than that. That still isn't good, but it's better than that. Because at least you're telling me what you do, and I have more of an idea of like, oh, okay, well, you do these things, and I need a copywriter who can do these things. Yep. I don't know if this is actually I don't know if this is copy in and of itself to go somewhere, or if it's just you kind of like trying to feel out what you want to do as a copywriter. But either way, I think that you need to have a bit of a more specific think about what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with just calling yourself a copywriter. Like that's fine. Because again, I know I just said, oh, I'd hire someone who had this instead of this, but honestly, no one has ever been hired based on what it says on their LinkedIn bio. So don't sweat too much about what it is. It's going to be your pitches that really sell people. Draft CTA for LinkedIn articles that teach writing skills to get clients. Teach writing skills to get clients to contact me to discuss copywriting projects. Email me, call me, or schedule a Zoom call with me anytime you want help for this. And we can talk briefly about how I can serve you by helping you achieve your goals. I would just have one CTA, maybe an email. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like the reason I'm saying it doesn't really matter is because likely no one's going to contact you based on an article. Because who reads articles on how to write better? Copywriters, not business owners. Business owners are looking for people to hire. They're not looking at articles saying, how do I write better? Because guess what? They've already decided they want to hire someone. And if they're reading an article about writing better, likely it is they've decided they're going to do it themselves. So probably isn't going to drive a ton of interest anyway. But I would say that like it's not, again, I know I've been fairly, well, I don't want to say I've been unkind. I know I've been fairly blunt with this. But ultimately, what I'm going to tell you here, and this is, I know I'm not paid to do this as such, but like I know that as a patron, you're effectively kind of paying me to read this and to critique what is on here. I want to do something better for you. I'm going to give you some advice. Okay, it's a much better use of your time to work on finding clients that you want to pitch to or prospects you want to pitch to, and cultivating pitches and Loom audits and spec pieces for them than it is stressing about what your UVP is or what your CTA is, okay, on like LinkedIn articles. Because honestly, something that's just as effective here, I guarantee you, would just be, need a copywriter and like what you've read? Give me a call. Here's my number. Or here's my email. Or contact me in any of the ways below. Like, it's not going to make a massive difference, to be honest, whether you have one CTA or a few CTAs here. No matter what you say at the bottom of this article, someone will have decided whether they want to contact you by you kind of saying, oh yeah, I'm available for hire, by the way. Oh, great, cool. I'll give you a contact. You don't need to stress about exactly how this reads. You don't need to stress about exactly what your UVP is. Just decide what services that you offer as a copywriter and start trying to find clients, craft pitches, and pitch those services to them based on what you've seen. I've seen so many people, not just copywriters, but business owners and all sorts, waste so much time by getting bogged down in the perfect like personality they need to craft about, like, oh well, who am I going to target and what am I going to say and how do I position myself and what LinkedIn bio do I do? I have been guilty of that. Believe me, I've been guilty of it. I'm going to tell you that it will not make a difference. The thing that will make a difference in your copywriting career is getting yourself in front of more people who can pay you and showing them your value. That's what I'm going to say. Sorry to be blunt, Sean. I think this is yours. Okay, thank you for being straight with me. Again, apologies if I've seemed fairly blunt across this whole thing, but I just want to be honest with you. Like, none of this is really gonna help you like get clients. See what I mean? You like all of these things. These things you've written here pretty much apply to every human who is in a business or has any kind of responsibility. This is not going to help you get a client. What's going to help you get a client is like that Loom audit script that we reviewed a couple of pieces ago. Identifying someone you specifically want to work with, writing something that's crafted to them, saying, I can help you by doing these things. Do you want to have a talk? Are you free on Thursday? Right? That's going to help you get clients. And I promise you, you will then become so much clearer on what you want to do in your own life and what your like kind of area specialty is by doing that and getting clients in that way than spending too long trying to create the perfect persona for yourself, if you like. I'm glad you were blunt with me. Believe me, it's not in my nature to be blunt. Unfortunately, it's becoming that way because of the job that I have, but like I don't like to just rip things to shreds. But the fact that you're writing anything at all, the fact that you're doing any of this is a good sign because you're prepared to put time and effort into it. I just want you to make sure that time and effort is going into the best possible place it can. And I truly believe you at this stage, I already know you can write copy. It's probably going to be into those crafting pictures, okay? And Eisenhower says blunt and honest is better than sugarcoating, which absolutely, yeah, I agree. Okie doke. Next, change management campaign. Oh man, change management. God, that almost makes me depressed reading that. That is a job that I don't want to do. Okie doke. What is this? Look how useful this is. This is a landing page for B2B lead generation. Brilliant. Know what it is. Thank you very much. Specifically generating appointments. So calls. Okay. Sales calls. Funnel is LinkedIn ad, landing page, calendar book call. Look how great this is. Like so much context here. Thank you very much, whoever submitted this. The right solution. The client is a change management consultant. She helps companies navigate their ERP. Oh, dude, what's ERP? I can't remember what any of these things are. ERP, enterprise resource. We were talking about it the other week at work actually. It's just like how everything fits into everything else, isn't it? Basically, like what software you use, systems. Oh, dude, I hate business talk so much. She helps companies navigate their ERP transition to the new and fancy ERP called SAP. And ERP is a software system that helps companies. See, I didn't need to do this. You just told me. So great. The audience is C-suite leaders, anyone in charge of that kind of shit. Okay, cool. Big problem. Most trials fail because the employees aren't convinced or don't know how to use it because their usual ways of working suddenly get removed. So now they're forced to deal with new tech they don't feel comfortable with, which leads to lower productivity, low quality work, bad communication among departments. So a lot of time and effort for zero benefits. Now, I know this is a problem because we've been through a similar thing in my in-house role before. So I know this is a thing. And I know, certainly my CEO, I know would probably feel like, yeah, there's probably some benefit in this because we've done that before. We've hired like people like this before. So let me chance this. Is Rio the best way in graphical email marketing? Because I see a lot of businesses not doing it. Rio is just a system. I don't know. I don't really call it anything specifically, but like Rio is simply a way to sanity check why you're writing copy and who you're writing it for. So when you come to write the copy, it makes sense and is persuasive. That's all it means and is. You can, and in my opinion, should apply it to every piece of copy you write, or pretty much every piece of copy you write, especially if you're not sure about how best to do it. So you saying that other people don't use it, like, yeah, probably, because it's not, a lot of people don't actually think about the copy they write. They just write whatever and just send it out. So yeah. Then Yasin asked, what is RIOA? RIOA is reader, idea, offer, action. One reader, one idea, one offer, one action. It is the rule of one, but it's which is a famous kind of copywriting principle, which is that you should only really try to focus on one thing at a time of each of those categories. Reader, idea, offer, action are just the ones that I found most useful to kind of sum it up as when I was starting, because there was always one reader you were focusing on, there was always one core idea to your sales message, there was always one offer that you were trying to push them to, like, this is the thing you're focusing on, and what does that offer mean? And there's always one action you wanted to take. That's what I like. Now, sometimes there are a couple of actions. Sometimes you're talking about more than just one offer. So, things can differ, but broadly speaking, it's a very useful way to sanity check your copy. If you go and watch the 5-hour video on the channel, it will explain it in greater detail. Okie doke. Now this is a landing. All right. Free strategy call. How to get yourself 100% committed and engaged with SAP S4HANA. Now, I like this headline. I like this headline because one, free strategy call, so it's obvious what it is from the get-go, and of course there'd be an opt-in form there. So great, like very clear on what the offer is here. No need for me to worry about that. I like this headline because it does what it says on the tin. And you guys know me, I'm a fan of to-the-point headlines. I like it when you've done the research, you identify what the problem is, and you just fucking repeat it in a headline. I'm a fan of that. How to get your staff 100% committed and engaged with this new thing. So this is obviously for people who've just got this thing and want to make sure, or are about to get this thing and want to make sure their staff use it. So awesome. Like that's a very clear call out to me as a CEO or whatever, that if I've just got this new ERP or EPR, what is it? ERP, EPR, ERP, that this could be useful for me. Awesome. With more and more employees feeling resistance change, there's an easy and sustainable way to motivate employees to adapt to the new system without the loss of productivity. Okay, so that's the subhead. Fine. So here, I would actually say, around the headline or the subhead, I would say something like perfect for new SAP HANA like users or for companies about to make the change or for whatever else relevant thing makes sense. So you're just saying it's if you're either in this stage or this stage or this stage, this is great for you. Because likely it is, they'll be like, yeah, well, we've just got it, or yeah, we're about to get it. So yeah, this could be useful for us. So let's get it. This I think can be cut down just because I think it's basically just repeating itself and saying the same thing. You can just simply say like our system. Like I would probably kind of enter proof here. Just say like our system has already helped X number of companies to like resist to overcome employee resistance and ensure a successful rollout from day one, for example, or from 0 hour, whatever you want to say. You've announced it on the internet and organized training, but employees still don't use the new system. Motivate employees to adapt to change that loss of productivity. Yeah, same thing. In the subhead here, I'd be saying like either you're about to roll it out or employees just aren't using it. We've done it for loads of companies to turn it around to overcome that resistance change from employees. There we go. Just getting all of this across in kind of one sentence under the headline, and then in your headline next to your offer, you've probably already got something that a lot of people can go like, oh damn, yeah, okay, let's book it, cool. And then a few other headline alternatives. I like that one. How to get your staff 100% committed and engaged with Sana. That hits the nail right on the head for what what my problems are. Some bullets. Talk to an expert with 16 years of change management experience. Cool. The call is free. No awkward sales rotation. Every business needs a different approach to change. Get a tailor-made strategy on the call. Yeah, nothing bad there. I would say that potentially thinking more about, again, like I've said, I want a bit more proof around here. You've got a testimonial here. How many companies have done this before? How successful has the rollout been? I want to know this is going to be smooth and it's practically guaranteed. Bit more proof around this. So maybe another bullet or swapping one of these bullets out just for saying like successfully rolled out this new system for X businesses so far. Every manager's worst nightmare. You switch or upgrade your ERP to and your employees turn around and say, I'm not doing it. It's new, it's confusing, complaints go up, productivity goes down, and the whole thing becomes a huge pain to manage. Perhaps you're facing this problem right now. SAP is an outstanding software, there's no doubt about it. Many employees don't want to use it, and the only thing you're hearing is that the staff just listen to it. If that's you, you're in the right place. Get yourself 100% committed and engaged with SAP through sustainable change management. Good copy. Good copy. I like it. Again, just highlighting that, yeah, we've dealt with this before. We understand the problem. We get it. Productivity. I'm not going to read all this because, this is fine. It's to be completely honest with you,
these are the kind of boxes that probably no one's going to read. They're just going to see the crosses and ticks and be like, yeah, we get that you want us to work with you. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have them, but like it's not insanely, like guaranteed that you need this on here, because no one probably is going to read each of these bullets because they're already facing these problems, and you know that these are the things that are going to turn them around. However, like this copy, I would probably, instead of going into without and with, or at least before it, I would actually just immediately talk about saying pretty much what change management is, how your solution works, because by this point, they're going to want to know, okay, well, what do you actually come in and do? Like, yep, this sounds good. You've hit on my pain points right now. Seems like you've got experience with this. Great. You've showed that you absolutely understand me, that you're used to this and you've done this before. Okay, cool. How does it work? Don't really care about the without and with, because I get that it's going to be the success, because I know what the success looks like, is what I want it to look like. But the next most important thing for me to know is, okay, what are you actually going to do? Zales, this is yours. You said, I was thinking to remove the box and just mention the benefits. Like, yeah, I think the benefits, this is one of those pages where if I'm a CEO or I'm thinking about doing something like this, the benefits are almost kind of infer the benefits immediately anyway, because I've already seen the problem, or I'm worried about the problem. So I know what the benefits on the other end are, like that it's going to be easy for me to do this. I now be a good rollout. I need you to show me how you're going to do that. Show that it's easy for me, show that it's hands off, so I don't need to do anything like different, and just basically like go for it. Show me what the solution is. Show me you've got a system in place. Show me some boxes with like, a nice big diagram that shows, there's 4 main steps. Don't need to go into every single detail, but show me that this is something that you've done for people successfully before, and that it's something I don't need to worry about too much, and there's a plan for it. Because that's great. Get on a call. Projects are up to 93% more successful with change management. This means the success of your project is directly linked with the willingness of your employees to embrace change. Image of the guru. Dave has been successfully managing, consulting, and change management projects in various industries for 16 years, with a focus on change management skills for SAP implementation. They led various change management projects. Cool. Her expertise lies in developing and implementing comprehensive change management strategies that ensure smooth transition to stakeholders during complex organizational transformation. Results: tailoring strategy. 4 out of 5 change projects fail. The rest follows a clear strategy. Discover the first step towards your ideal transformation process for your company. So again, this is interesting because potentially, if I'm looking for this, maybe I've been burned before by a change company. So I'd want you to show me why you versus the 4 others, like why you're so good, basically. Right. So I think, again, this, in terms of being a landing page, like is already better than what most landing pages talking about change management do. Believe me. Like it's already decent. Just go back through, obviously, the critique I've just given it, punch those bits up and make those changes. Especially around proof, testimonials, showing the system, showing that there is logic behind each of these steps, showing that it's hands off. Just delivering me to that kind of conclusion anyway, without having to remind me of what all the benefits are of it. Like I get what the benefits are. You need to show me how you're going to deliver the benefits, and that I don't need to be too involved, and that you have a high success rate. Okay, Zale, I hope that helps. It's the what you get when you don't get box. I read them, but I understand why people don't. Kind of just repeat what's been said throughout the copy. There's nothing wrong with them, right? It's just if you're taking up the space to do like a versus B, like a this thing or this thing, before and after, or alternatives against each other, I think you can just be done better than this. I don't think you need to do without change management. With change management, I think you can literally just say something like before like our system and after our system, for example. Now, that sounds like the exact same thing, but the key difference is you're effectively taking them to where they are now to where they will be with it. And using things like productivity can drop vastly and hinder performance, precise working methods like can vanish instantly. Make it a little bit more, what's the word? Dimensionalized, I guess. Dimensionalized is not the exact word I'm looking for, but a little more visceral, a little more real. a little more about the person on the other end, saying like that you're stressed because you don't know what to do, right? And staff are complaining about the new change, right? And that, employees leave due to dissatisfaction, for example. Like, there are bits here that work. This is okay. And the reason I'm kind of going through this again is like, it's okay. And I'm trying to explain why it's not bad. But instead, you could have something like A versus B in terms of our solution versus what people usually do. And we have like X number of modules, or I don't know how they actually do this. I'm not sure what the course is, or like we have X number of SOPs to follow precisely to show every department what to do within marketing, ops, like HR, etc., how to use the system. Awesome. That makes more sense to me. Having it with like, this is how we do it versus this is how like most companies fumble about it, or this is how other companies try and do it. So yeah, like these boxes to me, they can either highlight and demonstrate something you've already said just by visualizing it, or they can introduce a new angle. But ultimately, I think the important thing here is highlighting how this is going to happen rather than like the before and after. See what I mean? Okay, cool. My favorite, sex. Get your, oh, hang on, all right, let me drink because this is going to be a bit saucy. Okay. This is a squeeze page. Get your own free Loverboy guidebook that'll teach you the following. Now, I don't know who this is aimed at. I would like to know who this is aimed at, obviously, men. As a man who enjoys sex, and I'm assuming this is going to be about like, saying, oh yeah, please your woman or partner or whatever. Most likely, that's why it'd be useful to know who this is aimed at. Loverboy almost sounds a little bit condescending and a little bit patronizing and a little bit like, oh, you're just a loverboy, like it makes me sound a bit gay. Likely it is. Maybe this is targeted at everyone, or maybe this is targeted at bottoms or whatever. But like, if you're targeting like a man who's like manly and wants to be like, yeah, I'm a man, I can like fuck any woman. Maybe don't call it a loverboy. Maybe call it something a bit more empowering, and inspiring. Oh, sorry, Christian. I just saw that. Thank you very much for reminding me. So, yeah, that's my first kind of feeling about this. Loverboy, I think, sounds a little bit silly for something that I'm assuming is kind of directed towards men. I might be wrong. The 10 secret positions to satisfy your partner for an unforgettable and passionate night. Warning, your partner will squeal and moan so loud that you'll get a noise complaint the next day. Cool. That's fine. Fair enough. Decent bullet. I can already tell these bullets are decent, okay? A 5-minute workout you can do in the bathroom that will increase your sensitivity, blood flow, and erection quality by 10-fold, and it only requires a common household item. Okay. The powder test to determine if your partner is faking orgasms. The powder test. I mean, that's intrigued the hell out of me. I want to know what test you do with powder to determine whether your partner is faking orgasms. That's intrigued me. That has worked as a bullet. Japan's #1 retired porn star who has slept with thousands of women reveals his tips and tricks on how he was able to do so. Probably the fact that he was a porn star. It's kind of in the job description. I'm being a little bit facetious, but still, I would maybe say like, how he was able to pick up women. A full 1-hour video of penis exercises to increase your length and girth by up to 3.7 inches with only a year, without the use of equipment, drugs, or surgery. Disclaimer, not for people who want it quick and easy. That is a fantastic bullet. Okay? That's a great bullet. I like that one. Why? Because it's demonstrating value, like immediate free value. A full 1-hour video. Remember, I'm getting this for free. I've just seen that. It's a 1-hour video. That already feels like quite a lot of value to me because it's a video that you can't see normally. It's free and it's an hour long. That's a lot of value. That is an obvious benefit that it's, implicitly or pretty overtly promising me growing 3.7 inches. What guy wouldn't love to grow 3.7 inches? I'd love to go up to 14.2. But so that makes a lot of sense. Without the use of equipment, drugs, or surgery, good not statements, kind of showing it's not what you think it is. There's nothing confusing or complicated or dangerous involved. Great. And then disclaimer, not people who want it quick and easy. Love that addition. I think it's a great addition to this bullet because it's making me feel like, oh, well, they're not trying to claim that this is really simple. Like it no longer seems like it's unrealistic because they're saying to me, look, this isn't quick and easy, but it is real. That's what it makes me feel like. It makes me feel this is real. And I can trust this person because they're admitting to me that it's not quick and it's not easy. Right? So I like that. Good bullet. Why Kegels are actually the root cause of pelvic floor issues and can lead to erectile dysfunction, hard, flaccid, and more. Interesting. And more. I'm scared of more. That's all. Like, if they click hover the and more, it reveals almost but not all every bullets. I like that. I've not seen that before. That's an interesting one. So yeah, that's quite cool. I like that as a little kind of device, almost to show. You know, it'd be even cooler if it kind of like brought up like an image of the bullets and it kind of did them like fading or something, or like a whole blocked thing. So it like almost gamifies the page. So you click them out, you hover over it, shows it up, and then it almost shows like a little lock icon, like it shows a couple of them, but then below that it's blocked, and just get the report to access. Like that. Just enter your following information down below. First name, email address. Here's some of our Loveboy experience, blah, 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 and testimonials. I think these are some solid bullets. I think that I work on the name of the lead magnet, and I would maybe have a stronger headline than just this. So not that it'll teach you the following. I would still have the headline in and of itself, its own valuable thing. So actually looking at some other good squeeze page headline examples, having that as a big core thing, and then having a trail off saying, you'll discover, and then the bullets, and then you can have the opt-in form, like next to that up above, if that makes sense. Okay. So there we go. But I think that there's some good bullets in there. Questions? Hey, copy that. I've learned coffee. Hey, MindFit. Good job. Do I need a mentor, or do you think I can learn without one with compound learning? You don't need a mentor. No. Is it good if you have a mentor who's willing to give up a load of their time to teach you and take you through everything? For sure. Yeah. But the reality is that hiring a copywriting mentor who's really good at their job is going to cost a lot of money. And you don't need to hire a mentor when you're a beginner. You can at least learn on your own for a couple of years and get good at stuff on your own before you even get to the point of needing a mentor. Most people don't need a mentor at all. They can still make money without having one, okay? Just learn the free stuff online first, as Sean says. Rich says, the powder test is cocaine. How do you know that, Christian? Paula, happy Whetstone Wednesday. Glad to have you here. All right. You know, this is a true story, I once rewrote an entire email or set of email sequences. I can't remember how many sequences it was. I think it was like 4 or 5 email sequences of maybe 2 to 4 emails each. So like 15, 20 emails. I once rewrote all of those in one night because the copy that had been submitted by someone that I worked with at the time wasn't up to scratch. So I had to rewrite like 4 or 5 sequences in one night, stayed up till like 4 or 5 a.m. doing it, about sexology for a sex expert or a sexpert, as she labeled herself. Loads about female empowerment and orgasms and you know, how to satisfy men, how to get satisfaction yourself, how to like masturbate, all this kind of stuff. For all these email sequences, and they didn't even get used. They didn't even get used because the client was so annoyed by the first set of copy that the agency had turned in that they were like, oh, well, we're not sure about this project now. That's a true story. That's annoying. And they were good. I'm going to see if I can find those at some point. Not now, but I'm going to see if I can find those. Anyway. Carl and Sean just made a video on the topic of getting a mentor. It's a damn good one. Good job with the editing, Noah. Noah, good job with the editing, as always. But yeah, that is a good video. If you're thinking about getting a mentor, go to our YouTube channel and have a look at one of the recent ones about. It's called like who needs a mentor or something like that. Whew. All right. Oh, these are relative. Oh, I thought they were short, but they're hiding. Abandoned cart emails. Truck dispatching course. This unique. Hang on, let me zoom in. You guys can't see that probably, can you? Okay. This unique 2-email abandoned cart sequence combined is being used by a coach who teaches people how to dispatch haulage trucks, find loads for truck drivers. That's extremely interesting. I never even thought that would be a thing. The sequence is unique because both emails mainly rely on sales techniques to encourage readers to book with a coach. So this is an abandoned cart email. So they've added the course to the cart. Okay, I'm with you. For some reason in my head, then I was like, "Well, but for truck dispatching," and then I was like, "Oh no, this is a course about truck dispatching." Okay. Phone number. I'd be a bad dispatcher if I don't do this. Phone number. So you show them their own phone number on the subject line. That's smart. That's super interesting. I wonder if that would trigger any kind of spam. I don't know. I've never done that before. I've never put a phone number in a subject line, but I like the idea of that because even though you've supplied your phone number, people are used to seeing names in subject lines, and you just know that's automated. But a phone number in a subject line, I bet there's a load of people who don't even know that that can be like automatically put in a subject line, even if you've given it to the company. So that's super interesting because that would absolutely, if I saw my phone number in a subject line, I would definitely grab my attention. I'm writing that down because I like that as an idea. Give me a sec. I'm going to test it with a mock account though because I want to check that wouldn't trigger spam too much. I don't think it would, but then it's a string of random numbers. I don't know, maybe. That's going in my ideas folder. Sorry, everyone. Talk amongst yourselves. No, not to do ideas. Though. Phone number. That's going right down the bottom. Phone number in subject line. So, because I've done like areas in subject line, and not addresses obviously, but like towns and stuff, which has worked well. Just because it's something that people don't usually see. You know, they just go like, oh, you know, best. Even this is stupid, but it's even just something like, oh, best deals in like Oxford or whatever. Makes people go, oh, cool. You know, it's tailored to me. So, but I like the idea of having a phone number because that's very personal, and you recognize your own phone number. You go like, "That's my phone number." Anyway, sorry. I don't even know if this like is the intent of this, but it's triggered an idea with me at least. Was there a silver lining with the copy you wrote that got tossed? What the sex emails? Not really. I mean, I got courses about sex because they were part of that project, which were interesting. But I don't have a vagina, and like that was the main problem because that was mainly what it was geared towards. Anyway, can't be an invasion of privacy considering they opted in. Yeah, exactly that as well. Wouldn't phone number look like scam or phishing? Yeah, that exactly as Christian says. Like if you've like if it's from a company where you know you've already put in some information, like it's going to be like, oh, okay, well, I at least have a relationship with this company anyway. But like it just grabs the attention. There's definitely an element of risk there. If you like, you could be like, oh shit, would people take that the wrong way? But it certainly grabs attention. So I'm going to see if I can work it into something somehow. I don't think I've ever seen that kind of email. I cannot remember a time seeing a number in a subject line. Certainly not in the circles that I run in. Anyway, phone number. I'd be a bad dispatcher if I don't do this. It goes against my confidence to let you deal with this loan. Hi, Adria here. I noticed you didn't complete your order. Is there a problem? I'm reaching out because that's what competent dispatchers do. They tackle problems. In fact, solving problems is how dispatchers command better than average commissions, but a problem can't be solved unless it's found. So if something's stopping you from joining the full course, let's get the bottom of it together. Arrange a call with you here, whether you're considering dispatching because you were let down by past trainers, too much information on the application, want to set up your own independent operation with confidence that success. You need to equip yourself, plan to secure a job, go and dispatch profits by your own truck, just heard about dispatching, any of that is on your mind, you should know that the full course comes with 30 refund policy, guaranteed, no questions asked. That means you can test the full course for 30 days and get your money back if it's not what you expected. I can also guarantee this course gives you more than the basics. You'll breeze past learning common terms and dig deep into details. Written recorded material, overcome first call nervousness with feedback through one-to-one mentoring and live webinars. You'll even learn the extent to which you should negotiate with brokers and drivers without being taken advantage of, but still building profitable relationships. As you can see, the full course makes you more competent than 8 dispatchers out there. If that's your goal, call me by clicking here. Dispatch you to the full course, manage to get the first carrier comfortably to scale, clean your reputation, dispatchers, back to integrity, solve the real issue. The reason I'm skimming through this is because like this is good copy. Okay, I don't need to read the rest of mine because like ultimately I'll talk to you actually. So click here, you can join 20% of dispatch experience same success. Speak soon, Adria. PS, the reason why the full course includes live webinars is because that's what students who are once in your position wanted. And the good teachers are great listeners. This is what Pam Kumar said after taking the full course. Click here, speak, because the full course goes beyond the basics. Okay, so what do I like about this email? I like that this kind of goes overkill in that it talks about way more than it like actually needs to, but in an abandoned cart sequence, honestly, that's fine. It's about overcoming objections. Like, there's no reason to not throw a bunch of this stuff in there. Okay. One issue that I have with this, and this is a key issue, if this is an abandoned cart sequence, where is the link back to my cart? Like all you're doing is pushing people to call you. But the best cart abandoned sequences simply have, hey, was there a problem with your order? Just wanted to make sure that nothing messed up because this discount only lasts for this long or whatever, some other kind of urgency push. Click here to complete it now. I'll keep it on hold for you for the next 24 hours. That is what the best abandoned cart emails do, the first ones. They give a CTA back to that cart because you want them to finish ordering, and they give them a reason and a push to do it now. This has the makings of a good one, but it kind of misses out that core problem of that core kind of like issue of where's the CTA to finish my order? I don't necessarily need to give you a call. So many people, and this is what I'd recommend. The first email, I wouldn't recommend going this hard. I would recommend literally just doing very short. Hey, was there a problem with the order? Just want to make sure. Going to hold it for 24 hours. Here's one last urgency push. Go for it. Before you come out with all the overcoming objections. That, in my experience, has been the best way to do it. Now, there's nothing wrong with throwing loads of objections and overcoming objections in here. I would just make sure that top part of your email is that really simple bit. You can even just go on from that saying, or like if you've decided against the course, like I want to ask you why. Get on a call, and then you can come in with all of this heavy stuff. Nothing wrong with having a long, packed email here. It's just make it simple for yourself by doing the easy thing at the beginning, right? Similarly, if this is an abandoned cart email, I would actually just have the subject line just be something like "probably your order?" because that consistently works well. Or just like saved and then like order number and like just do a dynamic order number. Just say, hey, we noticed you didn't finish your order. We've saved it for you as order this. You can finish here. Those kind of things actually get people's attention because go like, oh god, did I just order that? Or like, oh, is there a problem? Or what are they talking about? Click, then I can see, oh well, actually I'm going to lose that discount, so yeah, I probably should buy it. That's the thing that does well in the first step of an abandoned cart sequence. As much as I have tested them, and I've done a hell of a lot. So I would at least have that in the first section. It's fine to then continue the overcoming objection stuff, but definitely have that in your first section. These other bits down here, like good copy, decent copy. You're trying to overcome objections and say, look, there's all this stuff in the course. Like, great, doesn't matter who you are. Like, you can get this done, and we've got all this cool stuff in there. If it was me, I would personally leave this for the next email. Because I go like, hey, we noticed you still haven't made the order. That probably means that you're having second thoughts about the course. I want you to call me if this is the case. Now here's all the objection. That's personally what I would do. I break down to the second one. Don't take my word for it. Take theirs instead. Look for yourself. And then this would become the third one for me. It's like, oh well, remember, here's a bunch of testimonials. I don't want to miss you out. Don't want you to miss out. I'm only going to hold it for another 2 hours or something. Then like your spot might be gone. on, and we might close the course, or it might go up in price, or whatever. Don't take my word for it. Take that instead. Look for yourself. Hey, it's me again. Did you miss my last email? I noticed you didn't complete the checkout process for the course, so I just emailed you. I just emailed to let you know you can discuss any concerns by joining the full course. Just click here to speak. But if you need to know what's actually to the full course thought about it, read on. Again, cool stuff. That was this person. Designed to remove this. Cool stuff. Yeah, like the rest of this is fine, honestly. Like it's fine. You just need to reassess the point of an abandoned cart sequence. Okay, so a lot of good stuff in there, but rethink it. Rethink the structure. Okay, 2 more. Oh god, another drink. How you guys doing? How are like the 20 of you remaining doing? Hope you're doing okay. Context. There is a business offering lawn maintenance and landscape services. The readers are coming from organic searches and are solution/product aware. It's a practice piece from a real company that found on Google. Here is the actual website, and here is mine. Mock-ups. Growth control, landscape design, installation, maintenance. Schedule a visit. Oh, schedule a visit from them, I see. Cool. Ah, that is a messy page. Oh man, right. Now, I know the design may suck because I'm not so much into it, and it's also the first time I'm creating something like this in Canva. I want some critique on the overall approach and strategy, and also some improvements. Like, what section should I add? Are the sections in good logical order? Is this enough to convince the reader? Most lawn maintenance and services I found on the internet are simply not very good. So I'd be happy to get some educated advice from professional content writers. I also wanted to include some before/after pictures and some other good stuff, but this company doesn't have very much in a real website to work with. This is not working yet. Also, make sure you're reviewing the website in full screen because otherwise the elements will appear in some random fashion on the page. Okie doke. That's okay, guys. I'm going to try to ignore the style of it because I understand you're not a designer. But what I would recommend, I don't know if this is like messed up because of like the resolution of my screen out or what. I don't think it has. But how I'd recommend mocking things up in Canva, you don't think of it as like, oh god, I need to do exactly how the website would look. Just do a wireframe. What a wireframe is let me just Google it just to give you a better idea. So wireframe, right? Like a wireframe looks kind of like this kind of thing, right? So you can still include the copy in there. You can still include like the images that you want, but you don't have to include every single aspect of it. You don't need to color it all in the perfect way. You don't need to have every image ready. It just makes it a little bit cleaner, okay? You can really easily do something like this on Canva because it's going to look a hell of a lot cleaner than this, okay? So let me just try and critique this as a website. Our hours of operation, Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. That, I don't know how much to critique the design here because like I would have that on like a small banner, not taking up a huge section in the middle of the top of the page. Top right, get a custom quote or callers at that. Yeah, any service-based business, believe me, this is coming from experience, any service-based business should have their phone number in big writing on the top right or in the middle or somewhere very obvious because so many people just will go through and then give you a call. And websites that don't have that are stupid and should die. Like this one. There is no obvious phone number for me to call here like, straight away. So if I'm going through and like, oh, how do I get in touch? Like, oh, schedule a visit. No, I don't want to do all this. Like, I just want to talk to someone. There you go. I've missed my opportunity to do that. So yeah, agree with that. So that's number one. So I like that. Home actually, and something that I quite like doing, I've worked with quite a few services. Something I quite like doing is simply kind of reinforcing the idea of like, oh, not sure, like, or like have a question, give us a call. Because have a question is a far less militant approach than saying get a quote or get a custom quote. Just because a quote is still a question, people often want to ask specific things about your service first, or about if you do this, or is this right? So even just saying like ask a question or get a quote, call it at this number, makes it feel far more friendly and far less like I'm committing to something. Because so often that is what puts people off of doing any kind of CTA on a services-based website. They don't want to feel like they're committing to something before they have all the information. So make it feel like it's easy to give them a call, and it's not binding you to anything. I mean, this just looks atrocious because of obviously you're not a designer, but I'm going to tell you how it is. Lawn care and landscaping services all around St. Gabriel Valley and North Orange County. Yep, fine, like very offensive. We offer tailored expertise for residential and commercial landscapes. How you can take this further is by highlighting your offer, like what actually is the offer. So even that's a 3-step thing, just say like give us a call, or like fill out the message box, fill out the form. It's like we'll turn up free of charge and give you a quote. 3, no, God, my brain is kind of dying now. What's the word? No obligation. Like no obligation, like call out, or no obligation, like discussion or whatever. Decide if you want to work with us, or decide if we're the right ones for you. Okay, that's highlighting the offer. Saying no call out charge. Highlight something that is really valuable to people who are thinking about contacting someone about services. Is it there's no call out charge? Is it the fact that you only charge on completion of the project? Is it that you are a local, like a family-run business who goes the extra mile? Even just stuff like that, things that people like. Always better if you can focus around the offer and something that you can actually do, but have some kind of fixed point that you can point to. So it's great that you're putting the local area. That really helps, because if you're targeting people in that area, it's going to make them feel even better about it. But show me why it's good to work with you. What offer are you running, or like what is the process like? Why is it easy for me? Then you've got the right idea of saying, here are a few recent reviews. I would play this with reviews, have them swipeable, have a little carousel that's going around, and then a big CTA. Fine. Our services, yep, always a big fan of the services banner, or services grid, which basically just says we do this, 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 and this. Honestly, this kind of copy, like, I don't even need to review. It's like, as long as it's explaining what you mean by this and it's clear for lawn services, which I've never actually done it for lawn services. As long as that's clear, then great, makes sense. Little things like this, it's not written in the best way. Like our owner, who's also a certified irrigation technician, will make sure your plants remain healthy and thrive. Like, it's not easy. It's like you can just say, you can even just say like, our certified irrigation technician can make sure of this. Like, you can cut out like this kind of stuff here, make it shorter, make it clearer, easier to read. But that's boring copywriting. That's like boring copy analysis and critiquing, because as long as it's basically clear, it doesn't really matter what it says. The main points for you here, if you're thinking about pitching this as website redesigns, is the core offer, the fixed point, the thing that's going to make them stand out and different from anyone else, and be like, shit, yeah, actually, I want to give them a call right now because I want to take advantage of that, because I like the kind of way they're describing their service. The clear CTAs, the big phone number, focusing it around the local area, having a ton of testimonials that you and reviews that you can in some kind of carousel, having a mix of like Google, of Check a Trader, or 3 Best Rated, or Trustpilot, or whatever kind of website for independent reviews. Great. Grid of services that are very clear of all the things you do, so people can quickly have a look and go, oh yeah, this is what we need, so it's good to hear they do that. This is absolutely fine. And then some more reviews out there. How does it work? Take 6 seconds to complete our form below. We'll get back to you within 24 hours of the customized quote. Yeah, also fine. Your name, your phone number, your email, how can we help you? Give a bit more context in here. That was something else I always found when doing it the services. In this, which is called microtext, give an example of what kind of thing to say. So just say, give us as much detail about your project or what you'd like us to do as possible. i.e., for example, and then just like give an example of someone explaining what they want to do. Say like, oh, I have a burst pipe, or we want our hedges trimmed. We have 3 hedges like that go around the property. We'd like someone to come out and give us a quote for how much they do. Right? There you go. You can say our address is this. That's really simple. Like just show them it's really easy to do. Give them instructions. So many services, websites, just do a basic form, and it stops so many people. I've seen fucking data of people leaving form pages or starting to fill them in and then not completing them, and so they don't go through to HubSpot properly or whatever, because it's not clear enough what they need to do, and the instructions aren't really obvious. Whereas when it's clear and it's like, hey, here's examples of what to fill out, what kind of information we need, so much higher, literally twice as many, if not more people, then submit that form. Way better for getting leads. So yeah, that's fine. And I always double up the phone number as well. So like, or want a quick response, give us a call now. Give us a call now in these hours. Just because so many people will opt to go, yeah, I'll call you. So it's good you've got this up here. Just have the phone number next to other CTAs as well. Give them the option to do either for both people who are a bit, socially inept and just want to type away, or people who want to answer straight away. Cool. Hopefully that helps. All right, last one. Then I'm going to come off because I am actually very tired. Who's the reader? Business owners who are overpaying in taxes. Cool. Idea: learning how to pay less in taxes is not that complicated. They need to know 5 tax codes. Interesting. Free training to show them how they can use these codes. It's the offer, and it's for free training. Nice and simple. And this is the landing page. This is Is this an email? Or is this an ad? This is an ad. Okay. This is an ad that goes here. Former IRS employee reveals how the US tax code allows everyday citizens to avoid tax. I like this. That's interesting. I could maybe reword that very, very slightly, but I like that. It's a good idea. I'm interested. All right. So this is a Facebook ad, is what I'm gathering from this. Headline: why in the world would you want to give Uncle Sam 30%? Now, I don't know how the targeting is being done for this on Facebook. I don't know if this is retargeting. I don't know if this is going to people who are already in a lookalike audience or people who have seen the business before. I'm not sure. But you have a super interesting idea here. Let me see the creative. And both the creative and the headline fail to capitalize on that idea. Why in the world would you want to give Uncle Sam 30%? That doesn't immediately kind of tell me that this is about saving me tax. This almost seems like it's a political thing, right? The creative, which again is probably the first thing anyone will see, the 5 tax codes, free training. That is, as I'm scrolling, that's what I see. Tax codes, fucking boring. I don't care about tax codes. No one cares about tax codes. I care about them if they can save me money. But guess what? That's not very obvious to me just by looking at this creative, because all I see is 5 tax codes, free training. Scroll past. That can save you tens of thousands of dollars this year. That is the bit that should be highlighted. I would redo that copy, but that is the bit you should be highlighting. That should be the big bombastic thing in the creative. Even just how small business owners are saving thousands in tax every year without an accountant. Free training, Tuesday 8 p.m. You can even put like the secret is these for the 5 tax codes or whatever. You don't even need to say that, but like that is the bit that I would be fucking bolstering up, right? Nice image of the person who's a teacher makes me feel like this can be trusted, and it's someone who's actually there. Like it's a live webinar. And I would probably say that, like, register for like the free live training, or the free training goes live Tuesday at 8 p.m. BST. Great. Shows me that like, oh, this is actually a real event and I can get it for free. It's going to teach me how to save thousands as a small business owner. Fantastic. Which similarly comes back to the headline, which is it's not telling me that here either. Like the offer is so good and is so useful to people that this is just wasting that. Why in the world would you want to give Uncle Sam 30%? Like yeah, that's an okay like idea if you like, talking about like, oh, not 30%, like, what's the word? Uh, can't think of words now, which is bad because my job is being a copywriter. Um, like how to skip out on 30%, that 30% you owe Uncle Sam, whatever, or how to reclaim 30% of taxes from Uncle Sam, etc. It's an interesting frame, but it doesn't really communicate the core idea, does it? Which is that, hey, you could be saving on taxes without an accountant. I'm only assuming that without the accountant bit, that might not be true, but that in itself, if that is true, that's way more interesting to me because it means I haven't got to pay anyone for this, or how to save taxes by myself, because saying it's not complicated. So I would have the creative how I explained it, and then I'd probably have a headline something like the insanely easy way, or the easiest way, or the easy way, or whatever, to pay less tax by knowing just 5 things, or like these 5 things, whatever. Headline is something more around that, which is just around the fact that it's easy, it's simple, it's doing the thing the creative is telling you, it's reinforcing that you're not going to be able to pay less tax, but it's super easy. For example, that hits the nail on the head far more. Christian says switch Uncle Sam with IRS, which also, I think is something that I probably would say, but again, I would just scrap this headline altogether. But yeah, IRS makes more sense. We give an extra 30% to Uncle Sam again this year. You've really poured your heart and soul into growing your business, sacrificing time with family and putting in long hours. You've earned every bit of your success through sheer hard work, so it's only fair you keep more of what you've earned, right? That's why it's important to find ways to lower your tax bill. Now, again, I see this problem with Facebook ads so much. When your offer is that strong, the job of your copy is to amplify it. You do not then need to write all of this, what I kind of just call copy speak, because it's such a kind of traditional direct response type thing to do, where you should have kind of line after line after line after line, trying to build up your message, building message. When the message is so fucking clear from the offer immediately, you don't need to waste space doing all this shit. You don't need to spend lines building this up. You can literally just expand on the headline saying like the vast majority, or like only 2% of business owners currently take advantage of this thing that is available to everyone. Again, I've made that up. I don't know if that's true. Just saying like hardly any small business owners I know take advantage of something that is available to everyone. This is how you can save 30% tax completely legally at no cost and with hardly any difficulty or whatever. Again, that's not even great copy what I just said, but the idea of it is fucking sound. Okay. And then I've immediately expanded on the headline, the creative, and I've given a bit more context to what this is. It's a scheme, or it's tax codes that people miss out on or don't understand. Then give me the reason that people don't know that, because accountants never talk about it, or because it's never been explained, or they don't teach you this at business school. Then you can go, my students have begun saving anywhere from 43 to 100K by applying these 5 tax codes in their tax plan. Now they can relax knowing they're always playing by the rules too. And guess what? You can do it too. That, way more interesting. This is unnecessary fluff. And some copywriters would string me up for saying that. Some copywriters would be like, no, you need to build the story. No, you fucking don't, man. That's a great offer. That is a very, very clear call to action of this is a benefit to you. So start doing it. Start with the interesting stuff. You can then throw in, like, we know that hardworking American business owners do not want to fork over an extra 30% of the IRS when they don't need to. You've earned it. You deserve it. But use that further down. Like, this stuff is going to grab and keep attention by itself. You don't need to build it up in this way. Always Facebook. It really seems to be Facebook ads make this the worst. I've discussed this on stream before, but Facebook ads really have a problem with this. I see a lot of people do it. But this is a good copy. I put together a free training to show you how you can use these codes to legally cut your taxes in half and boost your profits this year. I'll cover the most effective tax saving strategies and provide a simple framework for understanding tax planning. This will give you the confidence to navigate your tax situation efficiently. No wasting time, money, and energy worrying about whether you're maximizing deductions or missing out on potential tax advantages. Instead, you'll gain knowledge and confidence to make informed decisions about your taxes tailored to your unique circumstances. Forget about confusing jargon and contradictory rules. I'll break down taxes in a way that's easy to understand. Just set aside 60 minutes of your time to join me this Tuesday at 8 p.m. EST. Register now, I'll see you there. I would simply add to the end of that saying like it could save you thousands of dollars. Like just ask yourself, is 1 hour of your time worth potentially thousands of dollars in savings? If so, I'll see you there. That's just a little tweak at the end. But guess what? This is good copy. This is good copy. If you literally, I mean, again, tweak the beginning a tiny bit just so it makes sense. It's not like you're coming in halfway through a sentence, but like even this, even if you just had this, that's so good. That's so much better for a body. Focus this more around the offer, saying how easy and simple it is. Read the creative so you're highlighting the big important bit of the event. And you've got a good ad there. Okay? There's not a ton of changes you need to make that a really good ad. Because there's good copy there already. Okay? I think you're just blinding the good copy with unnecessary copy. And once you've changed that, this will be a good ad. All right. Cool. That's me done, guys. I'm tired. I'm doing so much right now. I hope this was useful. I hope this was a good session. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Any questions before I go? Because I feel like I haven't answered many questions recently because I've been ranting about copy, which is kind of the point of this stream. But anyway, I'll give everyone a minute to type more questions they have while I'm here, and if not, I'm going to head off and go to bed. No, I'm not. I am going to update Asana, and I need to do something else. I can't remember what it is, though. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope this was at least in some way useful. We went through, what was that, like 10, I think, 10 to 15 pieces of copy, whatever it was. We went through pretty much all of them in relatively deep detail. So yeah, not bad. You guys can go now. I don't know why 20 of you are still hanging around. You can. I don't think there's going to be anything else. Again, I'll leave it another 20 seconds to let any questions come through, and then I'm gone. Again, whenever we're ending these streams, I always try and think if there's any wisdom I can impart. I should do a plug, I suppose. If you guys earn money and want to spend that money on more stuff, go and join the Patreon, which is copy that. Patreon.com/the copy that show. Because it helps us make these videos and it pays for Noah, who's awesome. So feel free to go and join the Patreon if you want more specific copywriting advice and masterclasses and all stuff currently the Patreon, which is, I don't know, there's like hundreds of posts in there. And also you then get to submit your copy for critique on Wednesdays. And today I went through all of the pieces that were submitted. So there we go. Cool. Christian, thank you very much for being here. Tanya, always nice to see you. Paula, thank you very much. Appreciate you having here. And Paula also says the Patreon vote was massive. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate that very much. But yes, like there's a lot in that. We're very proud of it. Christian, know what the next copy of that video is going to be? Yes, I do, because Noah, I think, just like uploaded a preview. Let me see what it is. You guys going to get behind the scenes coverage. Let me see. Is it an interview? It's an interview. It's an interview with someone who I'm not going to reveal who it is, but she is awesome. I met her at an event. When was that? When was that? Last year? Must have been. Yeah, I met her at an event last year. I actually had a meal with her and a drink, and she was very, very pleasant, very nice. Hell of a lot of wisdom. So yeah, look forward to that. Cool. All right. I think everyone has got their questions in, so I'm going to wrap up the stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. All the appreciate support. Seriously, we would just thank you guys. It really does pay for the channel to keep going. Hopefully, this is useful to you. Yeah, I will see you on the next one. So have a good one, guys. Hope you have a good week and keep